All right, well, I guess that's live. So let's see if I can't get this live chat showing. We got texts. I don't know how many viewers we're going to get today. There's only one viewer so far. We'll see. Five minutes before we're supposed to go. Hey guys, anybody watching here? Go ahead and chime in the comments. We're brand new and live. I meant to schedule this, but I forgot to make it public, so I guess nobody saw it. So we're going to give people some time to sign on because this is just now public. So maybe people will start signing in to view this. Anyway, I've got a little task to do while we're waiting, and that is the fan to keep my to keep my camera from shutting down. You guys know I've had that problem in the past where the camera overheats. So I've got a new like fan mounted to it, and I just have to extend the wiring for this fan. So it'll be a good thing when the stream just doesn't abruptly end because my camera runs out of ability to make a stream happen because it's overheated. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing doing this on Christmas Day. I figure that there's a lot of people, maybe you're with family, but there's a lot of people who maybe aren't with family and who have nothing better to do than look at the internet. So we celebrated solstice in my family. So a few days ago is when we celebrated. And so today, at this moment, kind of just another day. Plus it's coronavirus time, so we're not meeting with anybody. Nobody's coming over. So it's kind of just another day. Yeah, so I'm just wiring the fan up to this little 12-volt power supply here. And got some speaker wire to run the extension. There's my speaker wire. Fell off the desk there a few minutes ago. I'll just run all of it. All right, I'll run all of it. Why not? I never know how long I'm going to need this. It's got to plug into the wall over there. The desk plug is all full up with stuff. 2 viewers. I wonder if this is public. I mean, it's supposed to be public. It says public. It's weird. Normally I have more viewers by now. Maybe it is because it's Christmas. Well, hello, Auto Drop. How's it going, Michael? Mingda Rock. That's what you want to see, Fabio. Okay. Yeah, Fabio, man, your voice might be the only one. You might win this. There's so few viewers right now. I don't know. It's weird. Normally I have a lot more viewers at this point in the stream. But I didn't announce it. I tried, but I forgot to make it public. It's so many buttons to press to do this YouTube thing to set these up. So I forgot to press the go, or I forgot to press the public button. So I said schedule a thing. I did that an hour ago, did all this stuff, but then I didn't make it public. Which is nice that they have that public feature, because sometimes when you're testing, you want to test if you can stream without going live, without actually broadcasting. You're just testing your camera equipment or whatever. So yeah, exactly, Fabio. Anyway, well, there's not a lot of action, huh? But there's not a lot of conversation to be had. We're going to go white. I got a white strip, so I'm going to take white to power. You know, I'm going to use my bag of heat shrink tubing to go along with my lighter for shrinking it up. We're going to splice these wires together with a little heat shrink. Well, we got 6 configure views. Chime in, guys. There's so few of you there. Chime in and say hi. At the moment, I'm just getting this fan wired up. You can see in the background, I got a printer. I got another printer to put the emergency stop button on, which is actually a pretty cool project, but it requires a duet the way that I'm doing it. You can certainly do it with Marlin. Yes, I guess Fabio's voice is the only one that's chimed in so far, and he wants the Mingda Rock. So that might be what we're doing today, unless other people chime in and want something else. All right, what did I say? I said white goes to positive. Ew, I forgot which one was positive. Fabio. Yeah, man, you might win this. Come on, guys, chime in. I need more votes. I guess we'll talk about it here in a few minutes. The Mingda Rock, or do you guys want to see me put an auto stop on a printer? This. Oh, great. Where did I put the button? I used it in the thumbnail. Anyway, just like this printer. You can see this one. We'll go over this printer here in a few minutes. But there's this button right here. You guys see that? Yeah, you can just barely see that, huh? Yeah, see? There's a button right here. So if you press it, it actually pauses. And if you turn it, it unpauses. We'll get to that here in a few minutes. So I'm going to put one of those buttons on a different printer if that's what you guys want to see. Michael, we're voting on whether or not to do a review of the Mingda Rock, or the unboxing of the Mingda Rock, or we're going to do the Estop button. Wow, 53 people. So yeah, not a lot of people have chimed in. 53. I guess it's all right. Normally I'd have about 100 viewers by now. So Christmas is maybe the not best time to do a live video. I thought for sure a lot of people would just be sitting around being bored. Maybe you're right, Michael. Maybe it is because TH3D is giving stuff away. Especially later in the afternoon. I mean, it's like 5 o'clock on the East Coast. It's like 2 o'clock here on the West Coast. You think everybody's done their morning Christmas thing, and now's the kind of time to just sit around and be bored and look at your phones. It's weird. I thought for sure more people would want to sign in. But anyway, hi everyone. The 8 people that are watching. That is ridiculously low. Like I said, normally I'd have about 100 people watching at this point. Chime in, you guys. There's 8 of you. Let's have a nice intimate discussion. All right, so I've got this wired here. My fan is almost done. We're going to talk about 3D printers here in just a minute. Actually, it's not almost done. One side's almost done. I love this thing because I never know. I'm constantly like wiring and unwiring things. So I tend to just sort of like twist up my wires, put heat shrink on them, and it's plenty strong. And then it's like not permanent. I can easily undo it. And so I kind of like that technique without any solder. But of course, I mean, it's just running a 12-volt fan. It's nothing like critical. Happy Boxing Day! Yeah. Hey, Australia. Thanks for chiming in. Sausage. That's an interesting name. Merry Christmas, Marcus. Hi, Max. Loquacious. That's funny. So you know how to talk, huh? You're verbose. But whenever I see that word, it makes me think of Locutus from Borg. You know, when Captain Picard got kidnapped by the Borg and he became Locutus, which I think they named for a reason because he was the mouthpiece for the Borg. That's why they kidnapped him, to be the mouthpiece. So that's why the name Locutus, I think it came from Loquacious. But anyway, hello Loquacious. That's a great screen name. Okay, so now got this. All right, so what's happening here, by the way, I should show you guys. Let's see if this works. You see the camera? See back here? There is a fan right there. So I've 3D printed the mount for the fan. And so I'm just plugging in the power supply. I only have so much power that comes off of my my desk. I've only got like 6 prongs, or 6, not even 6. I've got 4 plugs on the bottom of my desk. So they're all being used. But over there's a wall outlet that I can plug this 12-volt power supply into. And good evening, Merry Christmas. Hi, Sven. How's your day going? Hi, Rick. My day is going well. Thank you for asking. I have to disappear off camera for just a minute, you guys. So give me a second while I go over there and make sure that the fan is working. I'll be right back. I'm still here. You can hear me talking. Well, good thing I had this this little random project to do, because we've got some viewers now. 29 people viewing, which is good. So we'll get more here in a few minutes, and I'll be able to start the real project. For those of you who are just signing up, welcome to the Christmas special. We're going to do one of 2 things. You guys have to vote, though. We can either unbox the Mingda Rock 3D printer, or there's these fantastic little buttons because of the CNC machines coming from China now. So we've got access to these Estop buttons. You can see one here on this printer. So if I tap that, it pauses the machine. And if I twist it, it unpauses it. And so it's like an instant, if something's going wrong with your machine and you need to like clear up some filament or something like that, It's an instant. I just love it. Instead of trying to like go into the interface and press pause or something like that. And I could set it up, of course, to like cut all power, but 3D printers don't ever have such like colossal dangerous failures like CNC machines do. So you tend to not need, I like the pause functionality instead of just the like cut all power and all that kind of stuff. But those are, I was thinking those are the 2 projects that we can do today. Although I have so many things on the plate that we can do lots of different things. I'm getting text messages. Unbox. Greetings, everybody. So let's talk to people here. I'll get you a huge power strip for Christmas next year. Yeah, I mean, I could. I don't have enough real estate underneath the desk. I made this desk for me, and I just put I could. I've got that desk in the background has a like 4-foot long power strip, has all the plugs I could ever need. But I try to keep the projects off of this desk. This is like my computer desk. It gets built up. It gets pretty cluttered. But thank you for the offer. I appreciate that. Yeah. Greetings, Emmanuel. Oh, we got Sausage voted for Estop. That's the first one. Unbox the printer. Man, everybody wants the printer unboxing. Okay, looks like the Mingda Rock is going to win. We're at like 4 or 5 votes for that. Just joined. Is the button connected to the Duet with a custom programming? Exactly. Yep, exactly. So, I mean, nothing that Duet hasn't thought of. Duet, that company is great. By the way, and I'll have to say this again, in multiple points in the future. I recently had a conversation with some, people at Duet at the company, and I love those guys. I really do. I hardly ever talk to them. Like, it's been like, I think 9 months since I had a conversation with the Duet guys. Anyway, they want me to make it clear because I guess, I cause some drama sometimes. They want me to make it clear that I speak for myself. I'm not speaking for the company. I think that there's not a lot of, fanboys for Duet out there, which is unfortunate because Duet is absolutely making the best product on the market. So there should be more fanboys for Duet. But they don't have enough. So they don't want me and my channel to accidentally be associated with them. I am not sponsored by them. They don't pay me. Nothing like that. So, so just keep that in mind. Whenever I'm talking about Duet, they were like, hey, make sure that people know you are you and we are us and we like each other, but, we need to keep things separate. Okay, so that is wired. I can plug my fan in and we can actually get on with it. I'll be right back. Let me plug this in, you guys. All right. Well, the good news is we will not have a failure of the camera in this one now, because the camera will be nice and cool with that fan blowing on it. So unlike every other stream I've ever done where the fan quit on, or where the camera quit on us. Duet actually said that. Michael, no, they didn't actually say that. They didn't. The thing is, those guys at Duet are, how to put this, meticulous, right? And they're a little bit, I think they're in the slightly older generation. Now, I got some really great history on Duet from them in that conversation. They started their company. It was a different name, and they started it with Dr. Adrian Boyer, the father of the RepRap movement. So really cool stuff. So, Dr. Ed Sells was Adrian Boyer's graduate assistant, and Ed Sells is the one who invented the Mendel printer. That's a Mendel printer. That's a Mendel right there. So, the Prusa, the Ender 3, every single printer that looks like this is a Mendel. And so, Dr. Adrian Boyer is he's where all this came from, as far as the DIY consumer level 3D printing. And so basically it was guys working with him that started Duet, which is kind of obvious to me. So RepRap firmware is rapid, or RepRap, reproducing rapidly, a self-replicating machine. So that's where RepRap firmware comes from. And so, they're academics and they don't like drama, and they just want to make the best product. And so they don't They don't want to be associated with any drama that my channel unfortunately has associated with it. Now, I didn't ask for this drama. You guys who are friends with me, you guys know I was just kind of, I thought, there's some injustice, some unfairness about not, acknowledging sources and taking credit for other people's work. And I started kind of making a stink about that, and the drama found me. And so Duet just doesn't want that to find them, because they're just, I mean, how to say this? They're nerds. They're nerds who make it the most amazing product on the market. So that's, they didn't like come right out and say. They're just kind of afraid of the drama. They just want to do good work. So that's what they said. Thoughts on the Ender 6? Yeah, I can't have a huge opinion on the Ender 6. It looks like a fantastic printer. I get less and less interested. So I'm the opposite of everybody else, right? Everybody wants a printer from China that just works straight out of the box, competition for Prusa kind of a thing. I don't care. I mean, they're never going to make what I want. So I want to be able to modify, and it's true to the DIY nature of 3D printing. That's what I want, so I want to take these machines and build them up to be the best thing they can be, or customize them. That's kind of fun. Everybody likes to customize whatever they own. So when you get a very polished printer like the Ender 6 with not much left for me to do to it, and you just have to accept it for what it is, I don't care. If I was running a print farm, I don't even think that the Ender 6 would be the perfect printer for me either. I like the Duets because I don't need to waste money on a screen, so I can get a bunch of frames and put Duets into them and then interface with one computer to run a print farm or something like that. So a consumer level printer that just works straight out of the box is not very appealing to me. I mean, I don't know. That's my first inclination. I should look into the Ender 6 and see if there's more that I can do to it to customize it. It looks like a fantastic printer. It really does. And so maybe I could ask Creality to send me one. But you guys, I'm drowning. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm drowning in projects. I hardly ever. I come in here and I work all day every day. And what do I have to show for it? So we'll talk about that. Ender 3 plus Duets. Yeah, that's I like that better than the Ender 6, Michael. Yeah, exactly. I do, personally. I think it's a better combination. It's never available, sold out on the website. Yeah, well, that's interesting that it's never around. Yeah, I mean, you guys got to know that to keep sales coming, you want to manufacture an air of scarcity. It motivates people to buy. So, and I think that China's getting into this lean manufacturing thing where they're not trying to hold on to inventory. They're trying to build up a bunch of sales. Then they ship that out. Then they build up a bunch of sales. They spin up the factory, print up, or make those orders. So they're doing these in bursts. I'm seeing this from other places in China as well. I ordered if you guys watch my other channel, the motorhome channel, I ordered a welder from those guys, from some company in China, and it was the same way. Every month and a half, they would go currently unavailable, and every month and a half, it suddenly comes available. So if you sign up on the website, so anyway, I don't know that it's not really. They could be playing games. That's the point. I don't know that it's not available. It seems like China has the ability to make as many things as we will buy. So I kind of am suspicious of the scarcity. Hello, Alex. How's it going? Hammer of Doom, FOMO, fear of missing out. Yeah, exactly. Yep. You did not miss the Estop. Okay, welcome to everybody who hasn't been, hanging out here. 44 of us now. Here's what's happening today. I just wired up the fan to the camera so that my camera's not going to overheat, which is good. And we are now about to make a decision as to, we're just kind of conversing. I'm reading comments and talking to you guys. So we're going to make a decision. It sounds like most people want to see me unbox the Mingda Rock. So I've got the Mingda D4 on the table behind me, and most people seems like they want to see the Mingda Rock. But the other option is to wire in. I don't know what I put. I got to find it if we're going to do it. There's a button right here you guys can see on this printer that I wired in. So you tap it, it's an e-stop, and I've got it programmed to pause the printer if that happens. And as soon as I twist the button to undo the switch, it resumes the print. So really kind of of a trick functionality. I think it's amazing. It makes me smile from ear to ear. One of the coolest things I've ever added to my printers, because I'm always having to, like, you know, scramble if I've got a screen on the printer, or if I've got to, you know, control it on the Duet through the computer. I'm always scrambling to go pause it, you know, on some screen. Whereas this, like, if I've got a problem, usually something's peeling up off the bed, I want to snip something off the bed or something, I can instantly pause it just as fast as I can think, basically. So I think it's one of the best additions I've ever put on a printer, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. Thoughts on Z leveling, AK Voron, and Railcore? Estop. Okay, so somebody wants Estop. Man, I don't know. So yeah, okay, right now is voting time. So everybody who's watching, chime in. I don't care about what happened before. Sorry, if you already voted before, vote again. We're gonna go Estop or review on the Mingda Rock. So whichever one of those two projects you want to see, vote now. And I'm going to find that switch. Used it in the thumbnail. Then set it down somewhere. Did I set it down in the kitchen? Over here? I have like 4 of them too. Oh, here it is, right here. This is the switch. You guys can see it. So it presses in and clicks, and then when you turn it, it pops back out. All right, let's see. Estop, 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 review, 2 reviews, Estop, 3 reviews, Estop, 4 reviews, Estop, 5 reviews, 6 reviews, 7 reviews, Estop, 8 reviews, both, 9 reviews, Estop, 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 10 reviews, or is that 11? I don't remember. Yeah, Estop's winning out. Put an Estop on the Mingda. Well, I did that, and so I'll show you guys. All right, you know, maybe we can do a rushed job on the Mingda then. If people really, I mean, it's so split. We'll see. But at this moment in time, the Estop is winning, so let's talk about that printer in the background. All right, first of all, this printer, I'm doing a project, so let me do the whole shit. I'm probably gonna make like actual videos on this too, but this is a weaving machine. Now you can buy this for like $8 on AliExpress, but if you guys can see, as I spin this, those needles come up, and through this arm feeds yarn. And what happens is, as you rotate that around, you make, this is called I-cord. So anybody who's ever into knitting, or whose girlfriends or wives or whatever make knitting, this is what they're making. It's I-cord. And like I said, you can buy an I-cord, automatic I-cord thing for $8. So why did I spend 2 weeks, and I'm not even exaggerating, 2 weeks getting to this point? I'm engineering my own needles. So you can see the needles are, these go down inside of the machine, and this latch flips back and forth. And so anyway, I'm going to make a giant version of this, giant. And it's going to be printed here on my Mingda D4. One of the reasons that I'm super excited for that large format printer. And yeah, so I need all 400 millimeters of the machine. And yeah, so I started to work on it. And as I was printing, the cord here fell down underneath and got wedged on the nozzle. So you can see I've got a rubber band now, you know, so it can move everywhere it needs to go, but it kind of generally holds it up. And yeah, so that's not going to happen again. But when it happened, it short-circuited and burned out the electronics that came with the Mingda. So, you know, this is a case for maybe, what do they call those? Not the ladders, the cable things, you know, the cable guide things that you can 3D print. And it's a little bit of weight. It is a clean solution. The rubber bands are the easy solution to this. But at any rate, this electronic package that came with the Mingda, I was never going to replace it. The Mingda basically had all the functionality that I wanted with the BL Touch, well, the knockoff BL Touch. And so I was good to go. So it's just such a disappointment. That's the printer that I need the most for this project that I'm obsessed with. This is why you haven't seen a video, you guys. For like 2 weeks, you haven't seen a video from me because I've been obsessed with this. It's like a siren song, something about the complication. I just can't let it go. I have to succeed with it. So I really need that printer to work. So that's why I worked on it. And of course, it's going to be its own video. But let me turn it on. Yeah, look at this. I mean, I've got test prints galore for the weaving machine. I better put this over here. So, and some of the other cable chain. Yeah, exactly. Cable. That's what I was thinking about. Thanks for the word there. Okay, so you can see on my tablet here, I'm connected to the D4 Pro, and so I can, well, you guys can see it right here. Let's zoom in. Oh, it's zooming out. We want to zoom in. I'll be able to move the camera closer as needs be too. Okay, so there's the D4. So what I'm going to do is home all. And then I've got a test print that that doesn't, I don't have to heat up the machine in order to do this test print. So one more time for those of you guys who didn't see it the first time. This is the Estop switch. So if I press the button, you can hear it click. If I press the button, it activates one of the switches. There's three lines out. And if I twist it, it's got these little arrows on it. Come on, focus, there we go. If I twist it, it pops back out. So press it and then twist it, and you can see it pop. It's a really cool little switch, and this is mimicking the gigantic E-stop buttons that you see in industry on CNC machines. Okay, so let's send this print here. And again, I love the Duet. I'm doing all this on my tablet here. So go to there, go to jobs. I think I only have the one job on this printer. Yep, just that one. So yep, we'll start this. And it thinks it's printing a Benchy, but of course there's no filament in it, and it's got an emergency, well, not an emergency, it won't extrude filament if the temperature is not high enough, like at least, I set it to 190 degrees, I think. So even if there was filament, it wouldn't be extruding, but it is going through the motions like it's printing. So that printer over there thinks that it's in the middle of a print, and check this out. Let's just say right, I got a little thing that was hitting on the bed, and it started to peel up, and that bit of filament is going to collide with the nozzle, which is going to lead to other things. So you guys know, like, this is where failures start. It's one little tail. You'll hear a little thing sort of scratching on the fan, on the part cooling fan or something like that. Like you just get a little error, and that starts to cascade. So you need to clear off that error. So I always have a pair of flush cutters nearby. Where are my flush cutters? Right? Spoke too soon. There we go. Flush cutters right here. So I've always got a pair of flush cutters nearby, and what I can do is get in there and snip it off. But I'm trying to snip it off as the printer's working, as the printer's moving, no good. Hit the E-stop button. Hit the E-stop button. And it automatically pauses. So I can get in there, I can clean it up, I can get ready for it to go. Okay, it's all good, ready to go again. Unpause it by just twisting the E-stop. And what that's doing is it's looking for the rising edge and the falling edge. So it's not looking for the state of the switch. It's looking for the change. It's so cool. It's so smart. God, those Duet guys, they just impressed the hell out of me. So it's looking for, basically, it was sitting low and then it went to high. So it was sitting off and then it went to on. It's looking for the movement up and the movement down, not for the position low or high. So really cool. Rising edge and falling edge stuff. Now, you certainly don't need one of these fancy switches. You could use just a regular old switch. All this is doing is turning a switch on and off. I just love this form factor. And these are like $3. I bought this on eBay for like $3. So I got like 5 of them. They were so cheap. So yeah, once again, hit it and it pauses. And of course I could make it so that when it pauses, it pulls the bed out to the front. Although that might be a little bit more challenging. We're not going to get to that part today. But yeah, so turn it like that. And once again, it starts the print up again. Really cool. Easy to do. So, yeah. Enter 3 non-pros, 160. We're having conversations other than what I'm talking about. So, Merry Christmas, Dawn, you as well. With proper cable that is self. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. See my face again. I shaved for you guys. I was rocking the No Shave November beard. I do that every year and decided to cut the gray beard off. What happens to the temp? Nothing. The temps stay exactly the same. Yeah, it stays active basically. It's basically just the same as pausing. Cable chain. Yep. Okay, so we're back to that. All right, so yeah. So what are we talking about? Yeah, so let's do that. Okay, so I can just stop this print now. You guys have seen that one. You're gonna have to bear with me for a minute now while I get my other printer, the one that we're gonna modify up onto the bench here, up onto the desk. I don't know if you guys can hear the fans. The power supply fan is what's so loud about this Mingda printer. All right, that's coming off the bench. A mess under the printer that I never can see before I take the printer off the bench. Well, I'm real happy that the viewership got up to 53 views concurrently. Once again, for anybody new chiming in, hasn't been watching, we've voted and we're going to be putting an Estop switch onto a printer. And if we get that done quickly, we might unbox the Mingda Rock. All right, here is my FL Sun Q5 printer. I really do love this thing. It's the next version of the Castle, which I liked as well. I have a heavily modified Castle. By the way, hey, there's only 53 of you, but go find my email. It's on my channel. What is it? You can go to the About tab of my channel. If you want to buy a Castle, let me know. I've got too many printers, and I think even though it's heavily, I don't know. It's like I feel like I'm hoarding all these printers. I don't have a print farm, and I've got all these printers sitting there, and I want to make room for other ones, and blah blah blah. Anyway, so this is my cable drive. This is a remote cable drive. A lot of this I printed this up. This is DIY. So, but the folks at Zesty, the guys at Zesty, are the ones who sent me this the fancy cable and the red housing. So. I've modified the ends. This is a planned project, one of the many planned projects to go on this printer. I really just want to get it as lightweight as possible for fast printing. But what you guys can see is I've modified the hot end here, and I never showed this in any video yet, but this is what is it? It's a cloned version of the E3D volcano hot end. So it's a high flow hot end. Now I don't like this. It's just that I had this one. It came off of my came off of one of my other printers. So I just had this stock. And everybody else wants to get it. It's like $3 on eBay. It's a clone. You guys know I don't support clones, except that I already had it because it came with one of my printers, so I wouldn't have bought it. But I would prefer a Duet. Duet has high flow nozzles as well. So, but anyway, I did the geometry for the fan, for the part cooling fan with this high flow nozzle, and it's absolutely critical, in my opinion, to have a high flow nozzle on a Delta. There's really no point to Deltas except to print quickly because you lose part accuracy. They're never as perfect as a normal Cartesian printer is. So, but if you want to print quick, they're like 10 times faster. So they're really cool. I just think they look so neat. They're my favorite printer, but it's too bad they're not more accurate. Anyway, so yeah, that's part printing. That's a project that I already did and just never showed you guys. So now we're going to do the e-stop switch. So right here, so we're going to drill the hole, I think. Let's lower this desk and get that top taken off. There you guys can see the box in the background. That box behind the that's the Mingda Rock there, ready to get installed if that's what we're doing. After we get this job. All right. So Merry Christmas, everyone. I guess I'm gonna keep. I see that like almost 800 people have looked at this, but most of everybody is just kind of signed off, and there's a few of you sticking around. But for those of you who are brand new, aren't watching continuously all the way through, welcome to the Christmas special. We voted. We're going to be putting an e-stop switch onto this machine. If you back up the stream a little bit, you can see me demonstrating the e-stop switch on another machine. And in order to do the build the way that I'm going to show you guys, you do need to have a Duet installed into your printer. I love Duet boards. They're well worth it for many reasons above and beyond this this upgrade. What do you guys want me to talk about while I'm unscrewing screws? Hey, thanks, Chirpy. Merry Christmas. Drill the hole in the print bed for easy access. I don't know, Michael. I don't know. It's got tons of work on it. But then again, that was work for videos, so what size are the power supply fans? Yeah, I think they're 60 millimeters on the power supply fans. I think that you could easily replace those with like some silent fan. Doesn't have to be what's that company that everybody talks about? God, names escape me. They're in my head and then they're gone. That silent fan company that everybody talks about. You can get silent fans on eBay every day, you know, from China. You don't have to pay the money for the brand name. But yeah, so 60 millimeters is the fan you want, the fan size you want. Are those non-extruding movements you're doing? No, that's not. What I was doing there, Checkraker, was I went and modified my G-code file. You know, the first few lines of the G-code file show you the first few lines of the G-code file set the temperatures. So I just turned the temperatures off. I just had a Benchy. It was literally the file that made this Benchy here. And so I just took that Benchy file and deleted the heat command, so the nozzle and the bed were not turned on. I was just for testing, you know, so just to run through the motions on a print. So I just manually, you know, you can do that. You can go in and manually edit the G-code. And G-code's not like normal programming. I mean, I guess it kind of is in a way. It's so much easier than normal programming. There's not much logic to it. So really it's about memorizing things. All right, so there is my top. You guys can see this has been known before. That's the you can go watch the video on the, what is this, the console, or I'm sorry, not the console, the FL Sun Q5, and you can see all of this install for my duet board. But yeah, right here on this side, I've got room for a for the Estop switch to go into it, just like so. And it's time to drill a hole, I guess. Yeah, that'll fit in there nicely. So basically right around the place where I've got the U, you can see I've got that U on the duet. That's where I'm going to drill the hole. And it can be, I mean, I'm going for aesthetics as much as I am where I can fit it. I can get it in on this side too, or I can put it around the back. I want it right up the front. So we're gonna take these stickers off, the duet sticker, stick it somewhere else. Where to put duet here? I like it. That'll do. And we got an FL Sun sticker, but I think we can leave that on there. Got my little hole punch here. Let's zoom in on this, you guys. All right, here's my little hole punch. These things are great. I don't know if you guys know about these spring-loaded hole punches. How many of you guys work on metal? I mean, I call it a hole punch, but it's basically just a spring-loaded hardened tip that, that as you compress it, it loads a spring and it reaches a certain point and it hammers home. So instead of having to like hammer with something, and you always want to kind of start your, you want a nice start point so your drill bit doesn't wander. All right, here's where we make shavings. Nothing's plugged in. We can clean all the metal shavings off from later. Timber. By the way, step drill bit, in case you guys don't know about these things are amazing. Got this one off of AliExpress. And if I remember right, I need to be up to the 20. It's got little, it demarks the size of the hole. I don't know. I'm gonna wing it here for a minute. Well, I'm out of batteries, but I hopefully have a charged battery right here. This drill is getting pretty old and sad. Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny if I couldn't drill a hole because I didn't have batteries? There's a third battery in the garage that's charging, but we shall see. It takes a lot of torque. I need to find my caliper. Measure the, I don't want to overshoot it, you know? in there. It's in the box where it's supposed to be. Imagine that. Imagine that. My tools are where they're supposed to be. Got my little box here. Hey, Dawn. Thank you so much. Anything you want me to talk about, or you're just being super generous, man? The man of the moment. Dawn Albert. Merry Christmas, Dawn. Merry Christmas. All right, so we're looking at 16 millimeter hole. All right, so 16 millimeters. Yep, right there. All right. We're currently at 12. So I got 2 more to go. Almost out of juice, but this is the last one. It should do it. 16. 16. Boom. Okay, so now I've got all this paint and all these metal burrs everywhere. And you know what? I've got just the right tool for it, but it's in the garage. So let me, I have to jump off camera for it, guys, and go get the deburring tool. I know exactly where it is. But let's see here. Merry Christmas, Kevin. Thanks both. Yeah, center punch. Center punch, yeah, there we go. Yep. Yeah, hey, Dawn. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I do not have the drill in reverse now. I love my dad's sense of fashion. Thanks, man. I love it too. I'll be right back, you guys. Just give me a second here. Hey, have you guys ever seen one of these? This is, I bought this at the Ace Hardware, I think. This is General, this is the brand. But basically, it's just, this is a deburring tool. So, pretty cool. I can just fold this down. I can just pull this off like so. I keep it in the packaging. I don't know why. I've used it like, only used it a few times. I need to use it more often. But basically, what happens is, you've got this, thing that can rotate around, and it's got about, I don't know, a 30-degree cut on that knife edge, and so you can stick it into a hole and drag it around, and that knife edge always finds the optimal cutting angle. So this is a deburring tool made for exactly this sort of a task. Nice and rounded over. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Now the reason I didn't have this in the room here, and I had to go to the garage to get it, is because when I put the switch on the other machine, I just used the drill bit from the other side. So I used the drill bit itself to kind of, I drilled from the other side and then deburred itself. So there's There's multiple ways to skin a cat. You don't have to use the fancy tool there. All right. So that's what it's going to look like. Pretty clean. Show you guys that. I should move this whole desk closer. That's a better view. Yeah, that's real nice. You can see that. But I want to solder on the. I'm going to solder this on before I install it. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So there's a bunch of very dangerous shards of metal all over the place. And I say very dangerous, not because they're going to hurt me, but because there's a very real possibility that they could short circuit the electronics. So let's all right, that should be clean enough. Now, oh, I gotta clean that up. Do not want to be crunching the floor with that. Hold on, guys. I gotta get a broom. Give me just a second here. And once again, for those of you guys who are just chiming in, I will tell you that this is a stream where we are currently putting a emergency stop switch onto this FL Sun printer. Now this will work for any printer with a Duet board installed on it, which is really cool. Duet makes the best thing in 3D printers, and that is the Duet control boards. And they've recently come out with the Duet 3 that they're really proud of. I was talking to this guy, one of the main outreach guys from Duet, and it's going to be super sweet, the Duet 3s. Can't wait to get my hands on them. But yeah, so Duet boards are just incredibly easy to work with. Once you get them installed, you guys are going to see just how easy this is. So after this, because I think this is going to go pretty quickly, we're going to do a quick unboxing. It's not going to be one of these, I don't know, it's not going to be a long deal, but we're going to unbox the Mingda Rock there, which is, yeah, you guys can see it back in the corner there. Well, at least you couldn't previously. There's a box right there for everybody who's watching. Hey, let's see what people are saying. See if there's anything I should address. Second fan to keep the first fan from overheating. Video is off the rails. Thanks. No, the camera isn't dead. That was just me. I had to leave the room for a minute. The camera's doing just fine. Nope, it's not frozen. It's just that I left the room. Yeah, see? Oh, the stream. It's the stream. The camera's doing just fine. That is not good. Huh. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see if OBS is the problem. OBS is the problem. Let's see if I do this. There we go. We're back. It was just OBS frozen for some reason. All right. That should do now. I think anyway. Let's go back to... Yeah, we're good. Okay. Frozen as a stream in the North Pole. Audio is working. Yeah, that's good. Chuck's P. The funny thing about, hold on, let's do this since I'm going to talk for a minute. So to answer Chuck's P's question, do I want to do a Core XY build of my own? Well, first of all, like, I know that I'm pretty skilled at a lot of these things, but I'm not the only one, right? There's a lot of really skilled engineers out there. And I don't know that I could do much better than the guys at Voron as far as 3D printing brackets go. So what I think I do better than most people out there is the creativity, the inventiveness. I've spent my life trying to be inventive, trying to find nooks and crannies and niches where other people don't go. And so I do have ideas to build similar to a Core XY machine. And I've got my, the Troncy X5S 400 frame still sitting there. So, just to buy the frame components and then to try to drill and tap and to get everything square is such a pain in the butt. So why not start with these kits from China that come with the crap electronics that are pretty low dollar. It just makes things easier, and you're going to spend about the same amount of money on the kit as you would for the frame materials. So one of the many projects, I do have absolutely ideas. I was showing you guys the knitting machine, that made this I-cord here. I was showing you guys that I'm printing on the 400 millimeter Mingda. Well, I would be able to print it a lot faster on the Core XY machine. So it's definitely on my mind. It's one of those things. The 5-axis build is the big one. That's the one that's the big one. So that's the next one. But yeah, Core XY eventually, maybe in the coming year, 9 months from now. It's just, I move a lot slower than I wish I moved. I really wish I could get things done quicker, but it's just me. For now, next year, there's a lot of really exciting things for the channel happening in the coming year. We're going to have a shop for me. Hopefully I'm going to get an assistant, so we'll be able to pump out videos more often. It won't be quite as amateur here in this office. We're going to have a dedicated space for making videos about 3D printers. So stay tuned, subscribe. I always lose subscribers on these live broadcasts, but yeah, stay tuned. There's really good stuff coming. Yep. DIY 5-axis, not SLA. FDM or FFF, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Second Go makes a good kit. I should have taken him up on the kit. I just didn't want to let him down. When he was first releasing that kit, he reached out to me and offered to send me one, but I don't think he would do that now because apparently there's bad blood with me and Michael at Teaching Tech, because I called him out on what he did. He copied videos, so I didn't try to make bad blood. I just tried to say, hey, stop it. Stop doing that, Michael. I wasn't trying to go to war with him, but apparently everybody thinks it has to be one or the other. And now because Michael has reviewed the Second Go, I don't know. He might still talk to me. The guy, he's in Taiwan, so not China. It's an island. It's a separate country. I don't care what mainland China wants to say. So the guy's in Taiwan, which is not, so it's not a Chinese printer. So it's a really great project. I really love the Second Go. I'd love to review that one. Yeah, Realcore. Steven, the Lightspeed. I agree. That looks like a fantastic printer. Yeah, we're gonna ban this guy. G4 Zake. I don't even know if I can. How do I ban him? There we go. There. And we go. Hide user from channel. You're not allowed to say suck my D. That's just not, you guys got to be polite. Look at, I got the dad costume on. Dad rules here. You got to be polite. Hey, Ben, I'm going to hide that comment. I've seen you here before. You seem to generally be okay. So, but you're on thin ice, dude. I mean, why you got to say stuff like that? Well, South Korea isn't North Korea. One of them has a totalitarian regime of, slavery basically, and the other one is a full-fledged modern economy with a democracy that's, being manipulated at the moment. So yeah, South Korea is not Korea. South Korea and North Korea are very, very different places. Very different places. Just because they have a shared cultural heritage does not mean that they're the same. So Taiwan is very different from mainland China. Yeah, it's the Republic of China, not the People's Republic of China. No. Somebody should look that up. But blah blah blah. This is beside the point. Why are we having an argument about this? How many Chinese viewers do I have that want to talk about this? Like, I don't know. Nobody in America cares about this. All right. So here we are. Time to do some soldering on this. Now, here's the key. I've got my little LED tester, and all this is a circuit tester that I made. I took an old battery, an old 9-volt battery that had completely, worn out, and popped it apart and pulled the plastic cap off. It's really cool. You can just pull this. This is the plugs, so you can plug a 9-volt into another 9-volt, and then I wired an LED because this 9-volt is actually spitting out about 5 volts right now. It's a pretty dead 9-volt battery. So, but if there's enough 5 volts to activate an LED. So I use it as my little DIY circuit continuity tester. So what we can figure out here is if I plug, there's three tangs on this switch. So if I plug the far tangs, what you can see is even though the switch is deactivated, so there's nothing happening, it's actually got power on. And if I press the button, it drops. It turns the light off. And if I turn the button again, so this is basically a normally closed switch, and I would like a normally open switch. And there we go. So now I'm using the middle plug and one of the external ones, one of the far out ones, and that's the wrong one. So we want middle plug and the other far away plug. And so we go. So we got middle and extremity on, and they're not really marked. I don't know. You guys can figure it out. So it's currently pushed in and the light's on. So there we go. So that's what we want. So it's a normally open switch right now. That's all we have. It's just a normally open switch. It's just a fancy way to activate it. So I'm going to bend this one down so that I know that that's not the one that I want. So now I've got these two that I want to solder onto. And like I said before, you don't need to buy the fancy switch. You could just use a switch like this. This is a little micro switch. And you're going to accomplish the same thing. It's normally open and normally closed. And like I said, with the duet board, it's looking for the change state. It's not looking for for whether the switch is on or off. So you can see currently off, now on, now off. So this would work exactly the same. You don't need the fancy switch, but I want to use the fancy switch because, well, it's fancy. Okay. Previous to making this video, I used all of my fancy crimp connector tools and wired up this wired end. So this is, you can see it's a 3-pronged plug, and it's the outer 2 wires that are connected. So this is going to plug into the control board, the duet board, and we're going to use the end stops plug for extruder number 2, or I guess it would be E1. We start with 0 in programming. So E0 is the actual extruder that I'm using, and there's an extra motor in there that's not being used for a second extruder motor, and so that's going to be E1, which is actually you get it. You guys get it. Okay, so now the length that I need is going to go from, let's see, it's going to go from there to there. So really not long at all. Will give me a little bit of extra length. That's about right. And show you guys my fancy, I love these things. I show them off in every stream. Got these fancy clippers, these fancy wire flush cutters. So you can cut wire right like so, and then you flip it around to the back, and it's got this like weird pliers looking thing, and you can just grab it. I think, oh, I'm pretty short actually. I'm just going to solder it on, and then you guys can see if I squeeze it, it strips the wire. Pretty cool stuff. So super convenient tool for wiring things up. now I've got my TS80. I love this soldering iron. I used to have a whole big soldering station. This tiny little soldering iron does all the work that you need it to do. One of the best purchases I ever made. It's expensive though. I want to say this costs like $100. So who spends $100 on a soldering iron? This guy. I do. Well worth it in my opinion. One of my favorite purchases. Actually, this might be the TS100. I don't remember. TS80. There's another TS one that I was looking at buying that doesn't come with the little USB plug. You got to get your own power supply for it. I was thinking of buying one of those too. Really popular. Turn it up to 400 degrees, which is super hot. But I have this super janky, expensive, what is it? Solder from China. So let's give you guys a view of that printer as I work on it. Soldering iron is heating up. Almost there. What are we saying here? Electronics nerd. Yeah, kind of. Andrew, I think I'm going to get to it actually. This should only take a few more minutes, so I think we're going to get to the Mingda Rock. I'll show that chai cracker. I'll show you that. But you can look it up. Look up DA76070 pinout, Duet Wi-Fi pinout. You'll see a big diagram, and we're basically using the plug for the extruder to and got my stool. And you can see me as well as this as I solder. So solder, boom, boom, boom. Can you guys see that? Cannot. Let's do this. Let's get you real close. Whoa, extreme close up. How uncomfortable are you guys? Personal space has been violated. Yeah, you can see all my printers in the background. Oh, I don't have enough extension on that cable. Oh, that's no good. Here, let's skip this stuff so you don't get closer. Oh, maybe I can. There we go. All right. This fan is awesome. This fan on the camera, so the camera's not going to overheat anymore. All right, so here we go. Got the switch and my soldering iron. So let's stick, and it doesn't matter which wire goes where because it's just closing the loop, right? That's all it's doing. Just closing, just normally open, normally close. Well, make it to be the opposite state. And we're going to talk about this in a minute, but it's just so cool the smartness that Duet has built into this. And they knew exactly what people were going to try to be doing here with this project, because instead of making it look for the state of a switch, whether it's normally open or normally closed, the Duet board is looking for the change. So the switch of not the steady state, but the change from one state to another. There we go. A little bit of solder. Solder, if nobody from England's watching, you guys are all asleep, aren't you? Chime in if you're in Europe and you're watching this. It's got to be like midnight or something your time. But we're all insomniacs these days with staring at the screens that we do. All right. I don't think I'm going to have any, you guys can see it there. There's my little pigtail. I don't think I'm going to have any collisions. Let's take a look. So it's going to slide through right in there. And yeah, I'm pretty far distant from everything. So let's get a look here. Ugh. So there was a little metal. There it is. This little thing. Don't know why, but I'll just use it. So feed this through here like so. And then put the nut on as well. For those of you just chiming in, what's this stream all about? You've never seen my channel before? Well, we are putting an emergency stop switch on a 3D printer. Why don't 3D printers come with emergency stop switches, you might ask? Well, they're not like CNC machines, which are, 14,000 RPM spinning sharp tool. When 3D printers go haywire, it's generally not like something to be super worried about. You're going to be okay. So that's why they don't come stock. But the functionality to have an emergency pause button, not even an emergency stop. You could certainly wire it with Duet. You can certainly wire the emergency stop to like shut down the whole printer and cut power and all that. But the emergency pause button is just so functional. It just tickles me. I love it. Ever since I put one on that other printer. So yeah. All right, let's take a look. Oh, extreme close up. There you go. I think I can answer the question there. That is the E2 pin. So the blue wire here going into the E2 end stop pin. Okay? So that's how you wire it. And that's well, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. No. Yeah, that's the bulk of the phone work. Hey, my collar's a little messed up. Get a view of that printer again. Chime in with everybody. Sound is fine. No sound. Well, hello, people from Europe. I wanted to start the stream earlier so that I could, not make you guys stay up late to watch me, but that was as early as I could do it. Christmas and all that. All right, so that is plugged in. We're going to unplug my soldering iron. Clean that off. Okay, and then plug that in. So, and let's put the lid on. Let's wait on it, just in case I got plugged into the wrong spot. I'm like 99% sure that it's in the right spot. You never know. All right, so that is on. And now we get to move to the computer. So let's see if hey, you guys want to see my kiddo? Mom and kiddo playing on the other side of the door here. See him? Say hi. All right. Where are we with this? So now it's time to share my screen with you guys so that you guys can see the see everything that I'm about to do. So let's make me small. There we go. All right, so I'm going to be small in the background while, unfortunately, unfortunately, because I don't have the green screen, so it's not going to be as clean as it is normally, but it's going to be clean enough. So here we have the printer address into that printer, except that that's not the one. Let's do this. There we go. See, I made this little file on my desk of all of my Duet printers so that I can just go to them. So this is the Q5, so I can click on that. And we should be logged into the Q5. There we are. So we are now able to, if I do this, you guys can see. Let's look at the printer. Watch this. Home all. I'm just going to click the home all button right here. There you go. That easy. So really cool stuff. In fact, you guys probably don't want to see me. You guys probably want to see the printer as I'm doing this stuff. So let's... There we go. Make me small again. Okay, so there's the printer. You guys can see what's going on with it. So now what we want to do is go here into System and config.g. And what we're going to do is down at the bottom of config.g, we're just going to add a couple of lines. And I don't want to memorize the lines. I don't want to deal with this. So what I'm going to do is plug in my the Mingda D4 Pro that, plug in the Mingda D4 Pro and just pull the values off of that. All right, back to it. So here in the Mingda D4 Pro address that I've got is .100. So I can just log into Mingda D4 Pro and go to System, config.g. And down here at the bottom of this one, you can see, well, let's just make this small. There you go. Now I can scroll through. You guys can see at the bottom. Okay, so right here on the Mingda D4 Pro, this is the .100. So I've got my emergency stop switch set to do two things. So this is all G-code, you guys, which is super cool. So there's nothing fancy to memorize. There's no programming language. It's the same G-code that you're using on your, to run your prints and everything. That's why I love Duet so much. So we've got these two lines, and we'll just copy those and paste them into the console, or I'm sorry, the Q5 over there, the FLSN Q5. So we can see I put the comment to explain what's going on here. But basically the 581 command is the Estop command, and it's saying for extruder 1. So it's looking for the signal on extruder 1, which is the second extruder. E0 is extruder 1 and E1 is extruder 2, just for programming sake. And this S0 means it's the action that it's looking for. It's looking for, in this case, going from, it's a change state from normally closed to, or from normally open. So the switch is not activated to the switch is then activated. That's what it's looking for, that change state. That's what the S0 is. And the S1 for the next line down, it's looking for the change state from actually closed to open on the switch. So it's the change state. It's not the actual state of the switch. It's the changing that it's looking for. And then the T1 is a built-in command. So it's actually activating an M25, I believe, is the command. And T9 here is that's something else we're going to have to do. But basically, I wrote my own macro, and I have it doing something in my own macro there. And then the C1, well, I forget I forget what that parameter is. Oh well, not that important. Just got to put it in there. But it's not something you got to change. So back to the D4 Pro. Let's save this first of all. Okay, so that's in there. So save that, and then it's going to restart the board. Yeah, we want to restart that. So now we go to here, and, or not there. We can close out of that. We don't need it. But we're going to go to the D4. We're just going to close out of this. And here in, I have a, down here, I have a trigger 9. You see that? Trigger 9. And so if I click on that, all it does is M24. That's the only thing that that trigger 9 is there for. So the M25 is basically a pause. So when it, back to config.g, back to this. So you see down here at the bottom, it says E1. That E1, no, I'm sorry, T1 there, T1. That T1 is activating an M25 command. And this is just hardwired into the RepRap firmware. But in order to break it out of that, that pause, so M25 you can look up, that's just the standard G code for pause, basically. And in order to unpause it, I'm going to use an M24 command. So that's T9 is activating an M24. It would be great if I could just put T and then like quotes M24 or something fancy like that, but it doesn't work like that. So this is how you do it. So now that I've got this in the, or I can close of that. So I want to make a new file here, and we're going to call this trigger 9. And in trigger 9, I'm just going to put that M24 and save that. So now in this file system as well, we've got trigger, trigger 9 with no spaces, same as this one. Oh, I forgot to put the .g. So we got to edit this, edit file. Not what I want. Let's rename, there we go. Trigger 9.g, save. Okay. That should work now. So let's just go to my jobs. Let's go to some XYZ cube.g code. Sure. No, let's not start it. Let's instead edit the file. Oh, this is going to take a minute. There we go. So to answer the question from previous, how do I just make it do a dummy G code file? You can see that I'm editing right here in the window. Like, look at how powerful Duet is, you guys. How can anybody want any other control board when they see what this kind of stuff you can do? I just love it. So great. So we're going to scroll down a little bit here until we find, see, these are movement commands, right? So it's going to be somewhere previous to this where it's going to be the heater. There we go. So we can just comment all these M104, M109. These are all just heating commands. We don't need them. I don't know what M06. I think that's a fan. Yeah, that's turning a fan on. So we can just save this now that I've yeah, we can just save this. Okay. So now let's go back to my dashboard. Let's home all again and scroll. So here in my macros, I've got this folder called Starting Up the Machine. If you watch my video about the Delta printers, either the Cossel or this one, you can see that that's it's basically probing the bed. It's probing the bed in these sort of like 6 points in a circle, and then it's going to do a height map. And oh, I forgot. I'm so used to having BL touches on everything that, yep, we're going to emergency stop that. I'm so used to having BL touches on everything that I always forget about the switch, about the Estop, or the actual switch for this printer. So where is that? It's stuck to here. So this little switch has a little magnetic base, and I just stick it on there, and then there's a plug. So whenever I'm starting up the machine or doing these things, I have to plug the switch in. So that'll work now. Okay. So let's do that again. Home all. Start up the machine. So it's just, you know, there's a bunch of commands. In fact, let's see if we can look at it. Macros. Start up the machine. Edit file. You can see it runs G32 twice, and then it runs a G29 command. That's all that is. So I could just run those commands manually. I could just type them in right up here. But instead of doing it that way, I've got a quick, easy button there on my dashboard. Look at how great this is. I love it. Like, it's so much better than a stupid click wheel or even a touch screen. Very rarely do I ever need to be, changing things about the printer at the printer. And so this allows me to work here at my desk when I'm slicing things or drawing in CAD. And I can also be, telling the computer or moving the printer and telling the printer what to do from here. So it's just so great. All right, well, now that that is calibrated, I should be able to take it off. And this is deactivated. So let's just start that job. So scroll down here to jobs, and that was XYZ. Oh, I saved it, so it went to the top. This was the one I modified, yeah, just today. So we will start this one, yes. I need to modify some of the, that's ridiculously slow. On my console, I've got the rapid movements just like flying. So I think this is all on the slicer. There we go. So it's now printing. So let's say I've got a problem. It's not laying down my first layer right. I want to manipulate it by hand. Paused. Now I should probably change. Actually, I don't think I can change that because it's an M25. So that's what it is. It's a little bit difficult. So this machine is not as nice as the, I wonder if that activates pause.g. If that activates pause.g, we can change the height on the pause. But anyway, so after it's paused and you can get in there and change the machine up, fix things up, you turn the knob and it starts printing again. How cool is that? Let's see if we can change up. Oh, this is the one thing, because I'm running RepRap firmware 2.05.5, so these error messages are all blank. You just have to go, yeah, okay. It's basically telling me an error message, but it didn't give me a script. They didn't write the scripts in. This is all going to be fixed with RepRap firmware 3, but RepRap firmware 3 is for running on Duet 3s, which are coming, and they're better than Duet 2 Wi-Fi's, but I don't know. This is like the only drawback to Duet, to running RepRap firmware 2 that I've found. All right. It's going to say no tool driven because, see, this is that error message about, like I was telling you, it's not actually extruding because the temperatures aren't right. But whatever. So we'll just pause that job and cancel it. And we're going to go in here to system. We don't need all these error messages. And system, where is my pause.g? Pause.g, right there. And let's lift by 5 millimeters. So let's change the Z5 to be, I don't know, 50, 100. Feed rate 360. No, we want feed rate to be much faster than that. Feed rate 1,000. Sure, why not? Yeah, that looks good to me. It was 360 before. People save that. Okay. Let's see if that does a job. Jobs. Let's print that again. Let me see what you guys are saying. Okay, let's see what it does. Yeah, it just activates pause.g. So now I can get in there, see? I can change, I can get in there and fix whatever problem's going on. And when I want to start the print again, I can just go right to it. And it'll start printing again. Success! There we go. So that's how you do it. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? I guess I should start the review on the Mingda Rock now, or yeah, the Mingda Rock. let's look at the comments here. Hello from the UK. Well, I think I saw the stuff. Hello. Yeah, thank you guys for. I mean, yeah. Hey, for those of you who are just chiming in, welcome to the stream. We just installed an emergency stop switch on a 3D printer, which is the coolest thing. It's so functional. I think that all 3D printers should come with this functionality going into the future. It is so useful, and it's so cheap too. It's like a $3 switch, so really really easy functionality for the manufacturers to start adding. So we just did that, and what we're going to do now is review the Mingda Rock after I talk about a few comments here. Brian, well, thank you for stopping by. Sleep well. I'm going to assume that you're in Europe there. Yeah, sausage. I mean, he should. I gotta say something. Like I want you guys to chime in. I need some feedback on this. The Prusa slicer looks amazing. It really does. It looks like the dominant slicer, and begrudgingly, I might have to adopt it. And begrudgingly, I say because, you know, maybe Prusa as a company is cooler than their fans, but their fans are jerks, right? They're fanboys. And it seems to me that these things start for a reason. So I do think that Prusa has a troll farm who's steering their rabid fans, but there's this guy, Chris Warlock or something like that, and he's talking smack about me over on Facebook, and he's totally a Prusa fanboy. So they've got this, like, it's their team, and anybody who dares to speak negative about their boy, they attack him. And it's vicious. It's vicious and mean. So it just bugs me so much that the best slicer out there right now is the Prusa slicer. I really hope that Simplify 3D, the next release, is actually good, but it's not. I mean, it's not going to happen, right? Simplify 3D has been dead for years. They just, for whatever reason, they haven't been able to develop anything further. So it's either Kira or Prusa, and Prusa looks like that paint on. The paint on supports is amazing. So I don't hate Prusa. I've said it before. I'll say it again. There's a hack and a cheat that they've done, and that is that they've taken credit for all these other people's innovations. Just don't take credit. Just acknowledge, hey, we got this idea from somebody else, but they can't do it, right? Because it's all tied to Prusa's ego. Prusa's got to be the one that gets credit for everything. So, you know, that's my beef with Prusa. It's that simple. And they just, he, it, they, whatever, keeps behaving badly, and they're not, and still not doing the right thing. But I want to be a fanboy for a non-cheating Western 3D printer company, but I can't abide by that behavior coming from that camp. It's so wicked. The interface is confusing? Huh. Yeah, I just saw the videos. I haven't actually downloaded it or used it myself, but the paint on support looks incredible. That's just so good. Circumvent trick. Use super slicer. A better fork or Prusa slicer. Awesome tip. Thank you. Thank you. What is it? Chain crack? Chai cracker? Thank you, Chai cracker. I'm going to look into that. Let me copy that so I don't lose that bit of information here and have to come back and read the comments from 3 hours of live streaming just to find that. Look at that. There's my schedule. These are all the videos. This is what I was supposed to do. Oh, I'm months behind. The stupid weaving machine is throwing me way off. That's my schedule of videos that I was supposed to be making. Oh, you guys can't see that. That's right. I'm showing the screen. I'm not showing the screen. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying not to say his name because he's only got like a few hundred subscribers and I don't want to give him the press. But yeah, that's the guy. He's just such a troll. I don't understand how a troll got, like, you know, 500 subscribers or whatever he's got. He's just so ill-behaved. And he's just straight. What is he calling me? I'm not going to say the word, a poop stain on the community. First of all, the community is, don't use those words unless you're a Prusa fanboy. The community means the group of rabid Prusa fanboys who will attack and disparage people who aren't in their in crowd. This is a popularity contest. This is like vicious high school tactics. It's gross. And yeah, he's one of the guys leading the charge. He's just so ill-behaved and just ick. It's just an ick thing. Ugh. Yeah, sausage. You absolutely should. All right. Well, I think it's time to move on and unbox that other printer. That's a success. So let me screw the lid back on. God, you guys, how long is this streaming going on? Yeah, it's Christmas. Maybe I should go spend some time with my family. I don't know. We've been 2 hours. Oh no, 2 hours and 2 minutes is my average watch time. Um, how long have I been going? I can't even see that. Hey, somebody tell me. I don't see that on my dashboard. How long is this streaming going on for? Hey, why do you guys think that I always lose subscribers on my live channel? Like, aren't live videos supposed to gain you subscribers? It doesn't. I don't get it. I mean, I know people like Joel do live streams because he makes like $2,000 on a live stream. So many people donate to him. So uh, I get why, when you have an established channel, why you would do live streams, but I just do it because I know that there's a lot of you guys who enjoy this, and I enjoy the interaction talking to you guys as well. But I don't know. Why do I lose subscribers? I feel pretty happy with the outcome of that little project. I don't think I deserve to lose subscribers for something like this. That was a total success, so I'm really happy about that. Well, okay, so I want to talk about this. What is your name here? Mr. Zulquar38. Yeah, I mean, I've got ideas, you guys. I've got some great ideas to sell, is the problem. China doesn't want anybody else to make anything. And China wants to cut you out of the equation if you bring an idea to them. If I were to work with Creality, let's say. Now, first of all, Creality doesn't know that I'm on Creality's team because I will straight up call out China for their BS as well. But for two reasons, China, Creality doesn't really want to work with me. First of all, I say things like Taiwan is its own country, which is a no-no. You can't say that. And every Creality is now a member of the Chinese Communist Party. You can't not be. So saying stuff that goes against Chinese propaganda is a big no-no. So I'm kind of difficult to work with on that sense. And then they see all the like hate, like from that Warlock dude, the freaking bearded troll. I mean, is he Warlock or is he a troll? I don't know. But you see that stuff and it makes me look like I'm hated. So they see this like message being plastered on the internet from this vicious, angry mob of unreasonable people who don't have anything legitimate to say. I want legitimate criticism. I love it. I need to be corrected. I'm not 100% right. I do things wrong all the time. So I really do love legitimate criticism, but these guys got nothing legitimate to say. And so the Creality people, they see the negativity directed at me online, and then they see me criticizing China, and they don't really want to work with me. It's difficult for them. So I would have to bring a printer to market, I would have to be stealth about it. I would have to have somebody else, not me, I'd have to pretend to just be like a guy, try to find a Chinese company to work with me. And then the way China works, they're going to try to cut me out of the equation. So I'd have to try to make it in America, which means it's going to be $1,000 at least, maybe $1,500 3D printer. So now we're getting into pretty expensive territory when you can get an Ender 3 for $160 that makes great prints. And so that's why I've focused on just modifying fixing all the problems with these Chinese printers because it's easy to get them. They're super cheap and you can print your own solutions. So it really is, in my mind, the best option for a consumer to do. Now, getting a professional print farm, reliability, that kind of thing. Yeah, you want to start from scratch. You want to start with a great base printer, but this is that professional market, which is the market that a lot of really smart engineers, smarter than me, you guys, there are some amazing engineers working on 3D printing. Those Vision Miner guys, I know I'm like on the fence about their product, that nanopolymer adhesive. That stuff is amazing in a way. I really do love it on the bed. It works when it works, but it's not like universally perfect. You saw that if you watch my other videos, nylon still has a problem. Glue stick and a low bed temperature is actually a little bit better than the nanopolymer. But if you get into super high temperatures, the nanopolymer adhesive works really well. So it's not a universal fix. But anyway, Vision Miner, an amazing company full of some really intelligent engineers. I'm learning all kinds of stuff watching their videos. You guys should all go subscribe and watch their channel. So that's an example of if I'm going to do my own printer, all of a sudden I'm now competing with other Western engineers who are, I'm an industrial designer, you guys. You get into the weeds and I have to do the research. It's not stuff that I already know. I have to really spend a lot of hours researching. And sometimes I just have to do first principles work where I figure it out on my own. And so that involves weeks and weeks of trial and error, design, prototype, test, until I can figure it out. So it's to ask me, and I would love to do it, but to ask me to develop a printer pretty much means you wouldn't see me for 6 months. I wouldn't be able to make a video because the printer would have to be at that level to be for me to put my name on it and try to. So it's not going to happen unless I get help. Is the bottom line. So now let's talk about Arno Anderson. You are amazing. I have never had such a huge donation. You are so cool. We can donate here as well. Yeah, thank you so much, Arno. Do you want to talk about anything? Man, you got my attention undivided. I would love to address anything. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a live. I think this will be my last live stream on this channel. I'm thinking of doing a couple of dual live streams. Like I'll live stream on this channel from my cell phone, and then I'll live stream on the other channel from my, just like this, so that I can hopefully drive some of my fans from this channel to the live stream channel. But at the moment, it's like, it's only $14. Take it easy. Oh, DKK. I thought it was $100. Thanks, Arno. Still, thank you for that. That's a very generous donation. Yeah. I mean, you can absolutely do manufacturing all over the world, wherever you want to do it. It's just a matter of price usually. Yeah. I mean, I have my bag company. I don't know. Some people know about this, but you can look it up, paqbags.com. And I manufacture in Vietnam. And then I went to the Travel Goods Association show and got some contacts there. And these guys are, trying to get me to go to Bangladesh, but Bangladesh is just such a rough place. And, the factory in Vietnam just solved all of my issues. Not all of them. There's one big issue that they didn't solve, but, yeah. So, I mean, you can go anywhere, or I would love to do it in the States. I would love to do it here in the States. I do have ideas. It's not something I would rule out. It's definitely at least a year out until I would release my own printer, at least a year. And by then I don't have any idea what this, environment's going to look like with 3D printing. So I don't know. I mean, look at Prusa. They're spending all their efforts on, manufacturing filament and a slicer instead of, making good printers, because the Prusa base printer is kind of a turd. So it's a very polished turd. The Prusa printer is very well polished and it works really good, but they could fundamentally make the printer so much better, but they're not. Why are they not putting the R&D into printers? Because printers aren't profitable. But filament. This is the printers like normal inkjet printers and ink, or razors and blades sales model. So they can charge a lot for filament, and you'll keep buying filament because you're just going to keep on printing. So the printer almost is a loss leader. It's not something you make any money on. So it would be a passion project. It wouldn't be something that I'm So I don't know. We'll see though. It's not, I'm not taking that off the table. It's something for down the line in the future. Yeah, okay, so Hammer of Doom. This is why I'm developing a 5-axis printer, right? Because non-planar, if you go looking for it, just look up non-planar patent. I think it was like all3dp.com or something like that, that found the patent that probably applies to non-planar printing. So we're probably not going to see non-planar functionality built into our slicers for 20 years, maybe only like 17 years. Because that guy's got a patent on it. So yeah, patents can be evil. You guys know I do support patents. I have a patent myself, but that's just ridiculous to be able to lock down an idea and not even have a product to market. Like, you're not even bringing it. You just want to gouge Cura and Prusa and simplify 3D, and it's, you patent an idea. It's like domain squatting. It's patent squatting. It's wicked and evil. And that guy, if he doesn't do anything with it, he should rot. I mean, it pisses me off. But the workaround there is the superior technique of 5-axis printing, to be able to actually change so that your nozzle is normal to whatever print surface, normal meaning tangent. So if this is a rounded surface, this is normal. This is not normal. Normal means you find the tangent line to the curved surface, you find the tangent line to the curve, and then you're vertical to the tangent line. 5-axis, you can't patent that. It's like, it's too basic of an idea, and it's already been around for too long in CNC machining. So if we had 5-axis printers coming out there, that's the workaround to this guy's stupid patent on 5-axis, on the math behind non-planar printing. All right. Well, how are we doing for? We're doing okay for views. All right. I guess I'm going to I guess I'm going to unbox this printer. I don't know what to promise. This was not the main stream here. This was not the main idea for this stream, but let's make it happen. Yeah, that 5-axis printing, like I can't stress that. You guys, you should be on everybody else's sites. Like, this is not my idea. This has nothing to do with me. I know I'm like, give me credit when I need the credit when I came up with something. I did not come up with anything about 5-axis printing. Okay, I'm going to make a 5-axis printer because that's where the hobby needs to go. So we need to start a movement here to make 5-axis more popular. So we need to start talking about that on all the other channels that you guys are on. Wherever you see, the opportunity, chime in with, hey, we need 5-axis functionality. Can we build this into our slicer? Which it's something we need to see. So get on it, you guys. Make it a thing. I mean, it's not even. It's already a thing. I don't know. Just make it a popular thing. Let's get this to happen. What I really need, I can easily make a printer to use. The problem is I have no ability to do the slicer. And also, I mean, if this is a project that I could figure out how to monetize somehow, then I could hire somebody to do the programming. I just have no idea how I would monetize it. Like why is Prusa doing Prusa Slicer so well? How is that earning that company money? Because he's paying a team of developers to program Prusa Slicer, and I don't understand how that's earning him money. So why is he spending the time to do that? So if Prusa can make money, can I make money? not for me, not because I'm like saying, you know, I'm greedily trying to take an idea and make money from it, but because if it's a profitable venture, then it can pay for itself, and we can get better functionality, and the hobby gets better. So, hey, you guys want to see something cool? This little thing I bought off of AliExpress is a scalpel holder. Scalpels are unbelievably sharp. I love these things. This little knife here is my favorite. I love this. So normally I use these kinds of knives. I really love this one too. This is a Gerber, and it takes a utility blade, and I really like it because it gets such a length on the blade that you can use. Like you have a really good long blade, but and this is pretty small. It goes in my pocket, and my coin pocket on my pants, but this is even smaller. I love this. This is my new pocket knife. We use the box cutter though. There it is. Do not remove before finish assembly. Okay. So this, by the way, is just another version of the Mingdas that I've been using. The difference here with this printer is going to be the hot end. And you guys can see the hot end right here. It's a knockoff, or it might be a genuine. I don't know. I should talk to them. Because I do know that E3D does sell some stuff to China. So there's an E3D hot end and a knockoff Bondtech. That is darn close to being a Bondtech. Maybe that's not a knockoff either. I don't know. It looks like knockoffs, and China knocks off everything. So this is the tried and true. People have more faith in this hot end than the one that you can go watch my other reviews on the Mingda D4 Pro and the D2. I love that hot end, but it's not fully baked. It's a little bit touch and go. I still think it's better than this. The filament path is going to be shorter than this one. But this one is Mingda's effort to bring something that everybody has faith in. So, you know, all the guys who want to poo-poo that hot end, you know, what's his name? Shane, he wants to poo-poo it. He knows how to work on it. He talked about the fixes. While he was griping about how crappy it was, he showed the fixes without actually doing them. He's like, it's just supposed to work out of the box. Why should I have to fix it? Fine. Okay, so this printer here uses knockoffs. So it's doing that, supporting thievery in a way, to solve the problem that's not really a problem, that anybody with half a brain can get the D4 and the D2 working. So you can see why it exists, even though I'm basically swimming upstream. Everybody's going to love this printer above and beyond the D4 and the D2, but I think that everybody will. Is how it goes. Does that make sense? Am I talking crazy talk, or does that make sense? Else? Nothing there. Another thing, Shane, I don't know if I'm going to remember this, but Shane, in his video, was poo-pooing the end stop switches on the Mingda printers. But I think these end stop switches are actually more robust, long-lasting. It's just so funny. We get used to a thing, and then we want to criticize anything that's different, that dares to be changed. Oh my God, you changed it. I hate it. It's like, changes are good a lot of the time. That's, I mean, isn't that the whole point of being in this hobby? It's because we're trying to embrace the future and embrace change and get good at having robots make stuff for us instead of just relying on slave labor coming from China. Yeah, this is exactly like the D2, the Mingda D2. Hey, will somebody do me a favor? I need to know prices. Now, I did hear word from other Patreon supporters that they got the Mingda D2 for $180 on like Black Friday sale, which, God, that's the deal of the century. That's incredible. So, but today's prices, see what you guys can find right now. I want to see how much the Mingda Rock, just go on Amazon, Mingda Rock versus the Mingda D2, because these are basically the same printer except for that hot end. Clean. Came with a little baggie, and everything's in the baggie. I like it. I really like this. Getting better, China, every time. I just wish you didn't make us buy the crappier stuff. It's so funny. It's like, just ship it. Ship it now. Get it out the door. And then we'll release a cheaper or a better improved version next year. Like, I wonder, Chinese printers are going to be incredible in 5 years. That's why Prussia's not developing their printers, because they know they can't compete with what China's going to spit out. Why do we have this? Same crappy. Yeah, maybe that's why. Okay. What are you guys talking about? Let's look at the comments here. Yeah, so look at that price difference. Almost $200. I don't see the value just for this. So they must be, you know what, maybe these aren't knockoffs, you guys. Maybe maybe the hot end is genuine components. With those prices, with that price difference, I tend to think that these are genuine components. Although I don't see, but that, I mean that's like the deal. They won't, you know, Bondtech and E3D will give you the genuine deal, but they won't let you put your name on it because you're manufacturing it in China or something like that. But somehow there's a genuineness to it. But with that price increase, I mean, I don't see. There's no BL touch sensor here. There's no. There is no hot end. I mean, there's no bed leveling sensor. How can they justify $180 more? I mean, the price difference in those printers is as much as you'd pay for an Ender 3. That's in a whole new printer just for the improved hot end. These have got to be. This looks like a. How can they justify that price? That's ridiculous. I don't get it. It is nicer because it's tried and true. The Bondtech extruder, geared with the dual feed, that is nicer. But it's like, once you tune the D2 and the D4 Pro, you're going to get the same performance. It's just that this is always going to deliver that performance. You can't mess this up. So I don't know. I just don't see the justification there. How can they charge that much more? Did anybody watch Chris's Basement? He did I think he did this one. He did another live one. Did anybody watch that? What did Chris think about it? I value Chris's opinion. He says good stuff. He's a smart cookie. You know you have a kid when you got children's songs stuck in your head. I'm green and freckled frog, sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Jake, I gotta hide your comment, dude. That's too inflammatory here. But I will say this: China as a country, they love to lob the racist critique. Like I've been called a racist by the Chinese national pride guys, like the guys who want to have pride being from China. As soon as I start to talk about how China is just a cloning copycat machine, and they always want to call me a racist, and it's a pot calling the kettle black kind of a thing. Like China is the Han Chinese are so ridiculously racist, and they rule that country with an iron fist. And it's part of the reason that we're having an autocracy problem in this country. Like, is democracy dying? But Jake, I got to delete your thing. I'm not going to talk about specific people, but as a culture, yeah, China is a pretty racist culture. Yeah, Hammer of Doom. It's funny you say that. I should go find it. It's sitting around here somewhere. I bought the. Here it is, right here. Look at this. I bought my Bondtech, genuine Bondtech. So printed on a selective laser sintering, so an SLS machine, and this Bondtech has the mounts on it to bolt it directly to a. You can see that it bolts directly to a a slice engineering mosquito hot end. So basically, the hot end will look very similar to this, except that it will have a shorter filament path because of slice engineering, fantastic engineering there. So I don't know what printer I'm going to put this on, but it's a good product. So more or less, I mean, I see what you're getting at there, but it's pretty lightweight. And direct drive is, especially on these Mendel printers where the bed is moving, if you're already paying the weight penalty in the Y direction, why not pay that same penalty in the X direction? You can only print as fast as your heaviest axis. And since the bed is pretty heavy, I find that this right here weighs about equivalent to this aluminum bed. So that's, I mean, I think direct drive for Mendel printers is the way to go. I'm not going to say that direct drive is a total winner for, say, like Core XY machines. It's definitely not the way to go for Delta machines. This is the only awkward part about these printers, is getting this part. I wonder if I can ding with a soft. edge of the table. Yeah, that might work. So awkward. Okay, those are not, or are they? Oh, that's right. That's how I did it before. Those are the last bolts to go in. First, that's not so bad. It's not so bad. That's interesting. I don't know what these brackets do. Figure that out. That's something different from the Mingda G2. Okay, so those 4 big bolts are going to be the ones that go underneath. And then we've got these 2 long ones and these 2 long ones. Okay. These 2 go over here. And we've got these 2 short ones. Nope. These 2 short ones and these 2 short. There we go. Those 2 short ones and those 2 short ones. Okay, so we are looking at this size. My kid is 3, you guys. I get all the 3-year-old stuff. For those of you who don't know, there's a YouTube channel called Blippi. Those of you who aren't parents probably have never heard of it. And before CRISPR, or whatever they call that, child online COPA, Child Online Protection, before COPA released, I think that Blippi might have been the most successful YouTuber outside of PewDiePie. The dude has like 25 million views on almost every single one of his videos because kids watch him again and again and again. I was like, man, I'm in the wrong business. That dude has made so much money, like so much money. Okay, dokie. That's that side. So yeah, this is really easy. You put the T. They got the bolts for it. They're all like different sizes, so it's kind of hard to put them in the wrong spot. But you put the T bracket on the side here, and then you can kind of flip it over to get underneath it, and you attach the bolts, the 2 more bolts from underneath. You bolt this part right here onto right there, and you bolt the hot end onto the thing. So it's barely a kit. Technically a kit, but barely. Yeah, that Blippi guy, when he was making so much money, he's actually, so I'm from the state of Washington. Well, I live in the state of Washington. And he was up there in Seattle for the longest time. And then his channel got so big that he must have just been like, too much taxes, or I don't know what. But for whatever reason, he moved to Las Vegas. I think it's Las Vegas. And he bought himself a building park, freaking whole industrial park. I mean, 25 million views. He's a multi-millionaire from his channel. So, yeah, Nevada, just so business friendly, and so that's most likely where we're moving is to. I think we're going to go to Reno, Nevada. I don't know. My wife has a lot of say in it, but also looking at Austin, Texas, because that's where Tesla is located, and I really love Tesla. And it's kind of the new Silicon Valley that's not ridiculously expensive. Silicon Valley is out of control. So yeah, so Austin's really attractive as well. But I think it's probably going to be most likely Reno. Although I'm not in Blippi's shoes. I don't get to use the tax haven status of, so I can keep my YouTube earnings. Although Washington's pretty business friendly as well, so I don't think it's that much better being in Nevada. It's a little bit better, but not a lot better as far as taxes go for your business. There's captive tubes here through this hole, like through to thread these things into the bottom. So really well thought out. It's not impossible, but you'd have to be trying pretty hard to mess it up. You pretty much just they're self-guiding. These bolts are basically self-guiding. I'm not going to take the base off for this video. You guys can go look at my... Oh, I guess I should. The price is so much more. I mean, I'm sure, but never make assumptions. But I'm sure that the electronics are going to be the same in this printer as they are on the D2 and the D4. So it's going to be that same screen and control board. But the price is so much higher. I really got to look that up. So I got to look into that. And we'll take the cover off here off the bottom and look at the electronics in just a minute. As soon as I get everything plugged in. Let me see what you guys have to say. Hi, Paul. Merry Christmas. Thank you. I don't know if you're talking to me or somebody else there in your comments, but Arizona. I don't know about Arizona. I don't think the taxes are as good in Arizona as they are in Texas and in Nevada. Nevada's close to the Pacific Northwest where I'm from, so. Also, Burning Man is kind of cool. I've been to Burning Man a couple times. I don't know. I'm 40 something now. I'm married with a kid. I don't know if Burning Man's going to have the same appeal anymore. Yeah, the Mendel Max. Yeah, it would be cool. Non-planar would be cool. It wouldn't hold your breath, guys. Look up that patent. Oh, Stephen, the Lightspeed. Washington's not business friendly. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's probably true. Biggie stack. Which is cool to me, though, because, hey, California's out of whack and Texas is out of whack, kind of in the opposite direction. So get the two of them together and you might have a sane and reasonable place. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nguyen? The middle name Nguyen? I know that one. You must be Thai? Maybe Vietnamese? Dingja? Ding? I think maybe? I don't know. But anyway, hello. Thanks for stopping by. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I need a lot. I'm just doing what I can. I'm winging with the microphone. I'm winging it. Trust me. I guess I talked about it earlier in the live stream. in the coming year, there's exciting things happening to this channel. I'm going to have a studio space. I'm going to have a much better live setup. I'm going to have a deck, so I've got buttons to press for different cameras. The budget's there, and I want to make this channel a priority. I want to make the channel viable and have it earn its own money. It's currently earning at this level, at this amateur level that I'm making it, the channel pays for itself. But if I got like an assistant, I could actually turn this into a business. So we're going to see the channel looking a lot more professional here in the near future. Well, not that near, but like 6 months, 9 months from now. And yeah, I will get a better microphone setup. I think I'll try to do a better microphone setup sooner than later. The problem is just hooking it to the computer. Yeah. We'll see. I'll work on it. I hear you. I know the sound is not great. Paul, thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. All right, back to the work. The sweater vest alone. Yeah, I love sweater vests. They're great. I started wearing these actually in my 30s when I was in graduate school. I was like, hey, this fits this fits, right? Okay, let's get these things installed in the front. For those of you who are just tuning in, there's a few of you. We're down about, I don't know, 30% from our views, from the high point of views. But we basically did the successful emergency stop switch installation, and I had this Mingda Rock in the background, so I'm doing the unboxing video of this. It's very similar to the Mingda D2 and D4 Pro, which I've already reviewed. Go check out my channel. There's whole videos on the subject. So should be easy enough to find out all the information you want to know about these Mingdas, even outside of my live stream here. This is one thing that bugs me about all of these products coming from China is the screen protectors are behind a bezel. So getting the plastic to peel off is not satisfying because you can't quite get it from behind the bezel. Well, this one's coming out okay after I fought with it for a minute. All right, there's that. So then we get three. These 3 bolts are going to hold the extruder to there. So I have to go around the back of the printer to get that installed. Okay. So these are like so. Well, this is strange because they're threaded on this bracket and also threaded on the bracket that they go into. So they clearly have to come from the back. You can't access these screw heads from the front of the printer, but you always want one side of the bracket to have a clean bore and the other side of the bracket to be threaded. To have threads on both sides, getting an alignment correct is... So I don't like that. That's bad. That's wrong. I could drill it out. I will drill it out eventually, I think. But I'm gonna assemble it the way that they sent it to me at the moment. But yeah, that's just wrong. Everybody knows you don't thread both sides of the bracket. China must design so many things by committee. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants a piece. Everybody wants to say that they contributed. I get it. But it's like at some point you got to have the lead engineer, the lead designer, whatever it is, saying, no, you don't do it like that. That's wrong. It's just. Yeah, see, this one's stripping out because I can't get now that I got the other two tightened down, that it's in the threads are misaligned basically, and so it's stripping something out here. It feels like it's tight, but it's not tight. It's just, there we go. This is stupid. It could easily mess this printer up and cross thread things because of this, because of the way that this was done. I don't know why they did that. I mean, it helps with alignment, but it's not that critical that you get it aligned, just that once it's on the printer, you get it nice and tight. That's, I don't know, that's a really foolish thing. I don't know why they did that. Exactly. 3 extra threads. That'll be $180. They're like machining prices for the States. You guys ever tried to get something like custom machined in the States? Good Lord. Things are coming down in price though. A lot more people able to do CNC machine work these days. But still, out of control. I mean, that's the reason we all navigated to China, right? Because things in the States are kind of overpriced. I don't know why I'm struggling so much with this clip. There we go. I was trying to do it backwards, like a USB plug. Those need a Phillips. And just like last time, they did not send me a Phillips screwdriver. Not actually Phillips. Technically JIS, Japanese International Standard. But Phillips will work. Just that they're more likely to cam out as they're called. Well, how's the stream still working? Okay. I think that's good. Hey, look at this. This is much better. Okay, there's your $180. Instead of having that like snakeskin cable management, they've got these thick, these are nice. Yeah, rubberized thickness. So that problem I had, not going to have it again. I don't think. I mean, it's possible. It's possible that I could have that same problem, but the hot end's not going to be able to melt through this cabling nearly as easily. All right, let's plug it in. Oh, no. We got to look underneath. We got to look at the electronics before we turn it on. It's going to be the same, you guys. I mean, I'll be seriously surprised if it's different. Oh, Hey, I forgot to show you guys the best feature of the Mingda D4 Pro with the Duet board. So when I'm setting up this one, I'm gonna pop up the Mingda D4 Pro and I'll show it to you guys. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away there. But it's sweet. I love Duet boards. They are the best thing. So really happy with the upgrade. Wish I didn't have to do it in order to make that weaving machine. By the way, for those of you just tuning in, I doubt there's many of you, but there's going to be a few. And basically what we did today is we installed an emergency stop switch on my little Delta printer. So this thing right here. So now what I can do is, as it's printing, I can hit that button like so, and it will pause the print. And it actually takes the print and it lifts it up. You see how high up off the bed that is? So it lifted it to that position as I paused it. And then when I want to start the print again, I can just twist that. And that's a $3 switch from China. Pretty cheap, really awesome functionality. And because that build went so quick and successfully, we are now unboxing and running the Mingda Rock here, which is basically a improved version of the D4 Pro and the Mingda D2. I guess it's technically an improved version of the D2. It's the same size print bed as the Mingda D2. There's no bed leveling sensor on it, so we're going to have to do all of that manually. And the reason that it's upgraded and it costs $180 more than the Mingda D2 is because it's got some nicer cables and it's got an upgraded hot end, meaning the nozzle is a E3DV6 nozzle and hot end cooling, cooling heat sink, and also the extruder is a dual drive gear Bond Tech. Now, personally, I absolutely don't see the price justification there unless they're paying Bond Tech and E3D for their technology, which they could be doing. It might not be a knockoff product. They could be providing some sort of a royalty and getting some sort of a brand name, I don't know, ambiance or something like that. But I don't see it. I don't see it being worth it. I love the hot end on the Mingda D2 and the D4 Pro. It's great hot end. It's not quite fully baked. They just needed to polish it a little bit more. Next version, I think they'll work the kinks out. Although you can easily adjust it so that it works every bit as good as these products are going to work. But like I said before, this hot end is like never going to fail on you. You can't mess it up. When you get the D2 and D4 working, it's every bit as good, but you can mess it up. So, all right, looking at this, yep, MGD301V1. So this is going to be the same as the electronics that I saw on both those other printers. They've got their own proprietary control board, probably some sort of a version of I don't know, one of those popular Chinese control boards. And it's got this touchscreen. This touchscreen is its own module. It has its own firmware. And Mingda's not, either they're trying to make it difficult or they're just not trying to help. But I had a Patreon supporter try to upgrade these electronics with a BL touch sensor, and he was struggling. It's very difficult. There's no SD card reader on the screen, so it's very difficult to update the firmware on that screen. You have to plug it into some sort of special programming module, which just isn't worth it. So the money that you're going to spend there just to upgrade to the Duet. I'm going to be covering the Duet upgrade for all of these printers, although I don't know if I'll do a Duet install into this printer, but I'm going to be covering that in the future. I'll make a video about that. So Duet is the best. They're the best. So don't even mess with these electronics. Take it as it is. It works the way it works. And if you want to upgrade it, put a Duet board in there, because they're not making it easy to upgrade this. They should be, but they're not. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. Go on the Facebook forums for Mingda and start pestering them there, saying, hey, why don't you guys help us to put a BL Touch or 3D Touch knockoff? Don't buy knockoffs, you guys, but if you have to, whatever. But pester them over there to make this upgradable to at least have BL Touch functionality. That's the way it should go. Yeah, okay, so nothing surprising. Same as. I really don't see the justification for the $180 increased price tag there. This is nice. Uh, they slotted all these screw holes here on the bottom. So on the Mingda D2 and D4, those screw holes weren't slotted, and it was a pain in the butt to get the holes lined up. You know, I've had to take the bases off of those printers a few times, and it's a pain in the butt. So that's a nice little upgrade. So we got increased or improved cables, so thicker cables. We've got this nice attention to detail with the slots, and we've got an improved hot end. And maybe we'll see if the power supply is more quiet, because that power supply is so loud on the other one. So yeah, there's a few upgrades. Still not $180 worth. Still go buy yourself an Ender 3 for that upgrade price. You can have two printers. Buy a D2 and an Ender 3. And you have two printers for the price of the upgrade. The Lightspeed. This is the Mingda Rock. Chris's basement. Chris did a version of this, or he did an unboxing version of this too. So I don't know. I didn't watch it though. I think he did. I like what Chris says. I just don't have time to watch everybody's stuff. Merry Christmas, Samuel. Paul Cumber, is this a good printer to buy? Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you want a printer that just works straight out of the box and you don't want to mess with it, pretty good. I would look for one of the other Mingda models. The D4 Pro has a BL Touch functionality built into it, and it works pretty well. I would buy that one over this one if you're looking to spend money and your purchasing criteria are, does it work out of the box? If you are looking for a project and you want to upgrade a printer, including adding your own duet board, and I showed at the beginning, like go rewind this to the beginning and watch what incredible stuff duet boards can do. You can see how I installed that switch in this, right? So if you want to upgrade, put a duet board into it and add a BL Touch sensor. You should start with the D2. It's going to be way less expensive than this, and the upgradability is there. And if you want to go with the absolute cheapest and most upgraded, so you start with the cheapest platform you can possibly get, then buy an Ender 3, because it's only $160. But there were my Patreon supporters who were telling me that they were finding this printer on Black Friday specials for $180. So you might be able to shop around, and you might, I don't know. Like I don't spend my time looking for the best bargain on Mingda printers, but if you're lucky, you could find a bargain on the D2. And in that case, hands down, nobody should buy an Ender 3 if the D2 is only $20 more than the Ender 3. The D2 is so much, I mean, go watch the video about the Mingda D2 and D4 that I made. It's so much better than an Ender 3. Does it make nicer prints? No. The Ender 3 nails it for rock bottom functionality. Like don't go any lower than an Ender 3. It makes great prints and it's upgradable. So the D2 is a better platform for many reasons. And so if the price is only $20 to $40 more than an Ender 3, buy the Mingda D2. This one is $180. So I don't see it. I don't think you should buy this. I think you should buy a D2. But Mingda, I love this brand. They're making great stuff. Yeah, I decided to make a live video on Christmas, thinking lots of people were going to be bored. Maybe I was wrong with that assumption, but I don't know. I'm having fun. I'm hoping you guys are having fun too. What do those plug into? That plugged into there. That's plugged in underneath. Oh, these just plug together. That's right. This goes to that plug up there. All right. So, ready to rock. Mingda Rock, get it? Sorry. Dad jokes. Yeah, let's plug it in and go. Yep, this is the same. This is the same as a Mingda D2, just different hot end. Yep, it's a good interface. I mean, maybe they polished this up a little with the firmware from the Mingda D2, but I don't see much. I mean, I don't see much of a difference. So we should have an SD card here. It came in the box. There it is. And they sent you a cute little cable for plugging your, so you could run Octoprint if you wanted to put a Raspberry Pi on this. But the big lacking feature that I see is a bed leveling sensor. So we want a BL Touch, not a knockoff, but whatever. Don't buy knockoffs. Anyway, there it is. Same as the D2. It's gonna print. It's got this Bondtech. You know what? I should just take apart this Bondtech. I need to end the stream here reasonably soon, and you know, you guys have seen prints happening before, so I'm not going to send a print to this. But what I am going to do is show you leveling it, because I want to make my final point about the, look at this, they sent me a random credit card in the mail, some insurance company or something. So here's how you have to level the gantry before you level the bed. This is my credit card trick. This is what I do. Stick your credit card there, lower the two X-axis screws, lower these down until they are, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to do this. My credit card's not long enough. My credit card trick's not going to work on this one. Oh, you know what I can do? No, I don't like to do it like that. I like to level it off the frame. I need to stick something under the credit card, but I don't have, maybe this will be. This is the platform from the, yeah, that'll be enough. There we go. Because of the longer heat sink on the E3D V6, we're losing printable height, and we're also, it's causing me to have problems with the credit card trick here. So the credit card trick. You wedge your credit card in there. It's too far down. Hold on a second. I'll show it to you guys up close. I need to give a little context, you guys. What you need to do before you can level the bed. There's 4 feet, right? So you can change the bed to be in any orientation that you want it to. But before you level the bed, first you want to level the gantry because there's independent Z screws. So the gantry can be out of whack and the bed can be out of whack. Both of those can be out of whack. So the first thing you do is you level the gantry relative to the frame. And then the second thing that you do is you level the bed relative to the gantry. So that's what all this is all about. Okay, so you guys can see see that? See the credit card? See how it's bent? See how the credit card's bent here? And so what I can do is lift this axis. So I'm spinning back behind here. I'm spinning the lead screw there, and the credit card's unbending, right? And then as soon as the credit card falls, I know that I've reached my limit. So now I need to hold that screw. I'm going to switch sides over here. I have to put the stupid platform down because it's yeah. Because like I said from before. So that's perfect. Just barely fits under there. So the credit card is just barely wedged. So I'm going to hold this side so that it cannot move. So the Z screws cannot, the right side lead screw is not going to spin. And I'm going to spin this one until the credit card falls. There we go. So now that gantry is level to itself. So now I can come in here and start to move the I can start to use the screen to move things around. So by the way, taking a look at that screen, just to give you guys an idea on the interface here, we've got our print menu. So we've got some test prints in there. We've got our menu, move, home. We can do all these things. Let's home it right now. Home. Silent. Got those silent stepper sticks. Trinamics. There it is, it's home. So now I can level the bed using the piece of paper and I'm ready to print. Whee! Yeah, taking you guys for a ride with the camera. Hey, that's a good idea, Ben. Why didn't I think of that? Credit card under the top rail. Yeah, good idea, Ben. Yeah, the color changing LED is kind of annoying. It's true. Wait, Mingda makes a Core XY? That would be amazing. I'd love to see that. Yeah, I agree, Michael. Totally agree. The GT2 timing belt between the two, and then you don't need another stepper motor, so it actually saves you money. I thought that was such a stupid technique when I first saw it with the when I first saw that technique with the what is that? The artillery sidewinder. I was like, this is stupid. I hate this, but no, it's totally the way to go. Okay, what am I doing? I guess we are going to do a Benchy then, since that appears to be what people want to see. And I even have that G code for the Prusa Benchy, as close as I can make it to a Prusa. So I guess we're going to do that. So what I'm going to do is level the printer. using the classic paper technique here and moving stuff on the printer. Says we're at Z0. Yep. And X plus. I don't know what's going on there. It's like there's a nut. They've got a jam nut. They've got nylock nuts underneath the pulley, the adjustment wheels. For some reason, why would they put those there? I've never seen that before. I guess you're supposed to set it to level. You set it to level, you put the nylock nuts on there, you tighten them down, and then it never goes out of level is their idea. That doesn't work. That doesn't... I don't know, maybe that would work. I mean, I leave my all of the printers that I've got with BL Touch sensors on them, I leave those beds alone for months on end. But I don't see this is going to work at all. This is where I mean it's got no bed sensor, so this is where you have to adjust the bed level. Now, one interesting thing to note here, this is running a flavor of Marlin of some sort. So Scott Latine, you know, the guy who writes Marlin, he gets hired by these Chinese companies to make these builds happen. So what basically happened there is my jam nut was not allowing the big adjustment wheel to drop low enough, and so I couldn't get the bed level. Now, the solution to that with the jam nut, because the jam nut can't go any lower. I've got to take it off. But I can adjust where the Z limit switch here hits. So I could have lowered the whole gantry with the Z limit switch. Probably would have been easier just now, but whatever. So yeah, yeah. Let's hope this works out. All right, time to get that Benchy printing. What are you guys talking about? MD4C? What's this Mingda MD4C? Waffle toaster. I don't know what that's talking about. Good night, Chai Cracker. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Alrighty. So this is the SD card from the Mingda D2 where I ran that Benchy. So let's just see if we've got. Let's see if it's that easy. Let's see if it's that easy. All right. Print. It does. All right, let's get some filament loaded in there. I've got that Benchy that's supposed to be as close to the Prusa, as close as I could make it to a Prusa Benchy. This is going to be my best PLA. This sample that came from some other printer. I'm going to do the trick here where I stick some filament through there because I don't want to deal with the I just hate that. That's one thing I hate about these Mingda printers. This filament runout sensor is terrible. The positioning of it just doesn't work. It's metal though, so that's nice. Same problem with this filament spool as the Mingda D4 and D2. The spool is not wide enough. So if you get the wider spools from, some filament manufacturers sell wider spools. This will only fit the narrower spools on it. They kind of hang off the front. It's not tragic. They don't like fall off. It's kind of sloppy and it doesn't inspire confidence. Let's put it that way. All right, this is my first time ever, even though I've got that Bondtech. This is my first time ever using an actual Bondtech extruder or even a knockoff. So pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. I don't know how tight I need to put this. These are nice extruders, that's for sure. All right, menu, move up. Let's move Z up 50. And then we'll go back and we'll go settings, back, more, move back, home, extrude, print. I don't see, hold on a second, you guys. Maybe this is different because I'm not seeing a place to turn the hot end. Okay, here we go. No. Move, home, extrude, and print. And settings. There we go. Okay, back. Sorry. So we're going to turn the nozzle up to 210. Sure, why not? And then we'll turn the bed up to 60. All right, once that gets heated, I'll send the print. Let me, while that's heating, let me throw the D4 up here and show you guys something cool. How can I do this with the camera? I'm gonna have to take you guys for a ride again. Ragnar, the expense could be explained with the tariffs as well. Oh, you didn't see this one, Scott. Yeah, if you okay. So for everybody who's just tuning in, we had a great. Oh, there goes my camera. There goes my camera. Darn it! What did they make it to this time? And it overheated anyway. It even overheated with the fan on it. That's crazy. I thought for sure it wouldn't overheat with the fan on it. It must have a software thing in the printer. At 3 hours, it always overheats. Oh no. What have we been on? Wow, this sucks. Let's turn that off and see what happens. Well, you guys, that might be the end of the stream, because I don't have another camera. Hold on, working on it. Yeah, there goes that camera. Well, that was the battery for the camera falling on the floor. Man, I have this fan. I thought for sure the camera feels cool to the touch. It's been having a good blast of air on it the whole time. I swear to God, it's engineered obsolescence. Oh, it's just the battery for some reason. Replace the battery, and now we're running. See if that's working with Nope. Well, why isn't it working? Let's try this. There we go. Ha, we're back. Okay. So, thank you guys for sticking around. How many of you did I lose just now? Yeah, the camera's cool. I knew it shouldn't overheat. That's weird how the battery, I mean, it's plugged into power. I don't know why the battery gave out. Okay, so to back up, you guys should definitely scroll back through the video and watch the earlier, watch what happened earlier, because we installed this Estop switch onto this Delta. That's what we did on video. And I started off the video showing you guys the Estop switch here on the D4. Okay, so the D4, largely similar to the Mingda Rock, which is the one that we're reviewing right now. So what I want to show you though on the D4 is this crazy awesome functionality of the Duet. I mean, you can do this. It's very difficult, but you can also implement this functionality with a with Clipper or with what am I thinking? Marlin. Derp. So what I just did is I unleveled the gantry, and it's going to be hard to get the camera to show this to you guys, but I think I can make it happen. So let's just what can we do here? Let's put this camera right here. Hey, look, it's all my other printers. There we go. Maybe you guys can see it now. Maybe not. About like that. Okay, there we go. That'll work. All right, that'll work. So you guys can now see the left side and the right side. Currently, we're on the head is on the right side. So let me make this small. Okay, so here is the Mingda D4, and what we're seeing there is we're seeing the interface. So if I type G32 into the command line up above, what you're going to see is it's going to level the gantry. So first it's going to level on the left side, then it's going to go get a level point on the right side, and after it's got a level point on the right side, it's going to adjust the right stepper motor. So let's see if we can see the movement happen. So it takes, it does a normal Z home, then it homes there, then it homes on the far side. Both of them are moving. Did you guys see that? It moved just this side. Did you guys see that move down? Pretty cool stuff. So that's I don't need to do the credit card trick. Duet for the win. I love it. I love it. And just to show you guys, that was a bit more challenging to implement than the what is it, than the E switch, the emergency stop switch, but it basically involves some of this stuff. See right here, some of this stuff. There's a few more lines than that, but yeah, I'll make a video about that someday. Someday, we'll see. All right, let's get the camera back and start this print, and we will be done with this video. So this is up in the air. Basically, well, one thing I don't like about the Bondtech is you can't easily just like quickly undo it so you can force film it through by hand. You have to feed it through with the machine. So I got to extrude it here. Looks like they test printed some black stuff. There's some black filament inside of there. I'm feeding through kind of quick, so I'm getting... Oh, yeah. I'm feeling some skips of the stepper motor because I'm feeding through kind of quickly. This manually feeding it through gets a... See, normally if I was doing this, I would hold that open so I could feed it through, and I would plunge it back and forth, and the plunging action kind of helps clean it out, I've found. I don't know. Because see, that's still, yeah, that's still contaminated with black. So there's a lot of black still left in that filament path. Yeah, I'm not a fan of having to do this with the button. I would prefer to be able to do it manually. Bondtech, one drawback to a Bondtech, I guess. That's pretty clean. I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so let's go back, print, G-code, 3D Benchy. Here we go. See, like this is why we did the emergency stop. We got a little bit of dribble. But what if I didn't start the print so high in the air and I wasn't able to just sort of grab that dribble off the end of the nozzle? And it's stuck in a bad place on the bed to where it was maybe going to mess up the nozzle or mess up the print or drag across the print and cause the print to pop off the bed or something like that. No, I don't know what this Benchy is. This is not the Prusa Benchy. This is some other Benchy I must have sliced before. I'm going to stop this. I've got another SD card that went with the Mingda D4 that I think has that, but I have to find the control board that went with the Mingda D4. I had it at the beginning of this video. I had it somewhere. Where did I put it? Check it out, guys. I've got the print, which is the insert. You guys can see, oh, you can't see it at the moment, but this is the insert for the I found the D4. See the duet there that goes in where the screen is? I've even got the duet name in there, so that it's ready for a duet board if ever I want to install it. I doubt I'll do that to this printer. Well, we'll see. Never say never. And maybe this SD card has the correct. There we go. Yeah, that's one thing that bugs me about the way that they set these up from China. If you stop a print, it's like a what is it? A Marlin thing. If you stop your print, like if I manually stop a print, I'm not done with the printer and I will turn it off. I will turn the nozzles off myself. So I prefer, even though I stopped the print, I don't want the nozzle and the bed to stop being heated. I don't want them to cool down. So just now I stopped that print and the nozzle and the bed they dropped in temperature because they turned off for that whole time after me stopping the print. So it's a stupid thing. It's just little frustrations. All the reasons why the insanely easy customization of a duet board are just so great. I mean, I seriously, there's only two ways to buy a printer in my mind. You buy a printer that just works the way it works and you don't touch it. And if you're going to touch it, if you're going to do anything to it, the first thing you do is put a duet board in it. So now we got to wait for this thing to heat up again before it prints. Turn on one of your lights. Okay, is it kind of dark? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, there goes my camera again. Bummer. Bummer, there goes my camera again. I think that might be the end of it, you guys. I don't know what's going on here. Well, it's starting to print anyway, while you guys can't see it. Yeah, the camera's not looking good, you guys. That might be the end of it. Print is starting nicely. Give the camera a minute to cool down. It might work again. Switching out batteries again. I don't know why that worked the first time. Maybe because the battery was colder and it just helped the camera cool down or something. Yeah, guys, it's not looking good for the camera. Oh, there we go. Ah, we're back. All right. Is that working for you guys? We should be back. Yeah, that's working. Okay, well, let's take a look. And now it's not working again. I think it's working. Give it a second, you guys. It'll turn back on. Here we go. Exciting stuff. Like watching paint dry. Watching a first layer of a Benchy go down.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. Printing a Benchy, and that'll be the end of this video. I'll just let it print till my camera shuts off. If I don't touch the camera, it might go the distance. I guess I can let that print for a while and come back and look at it. It's not giving me an estimate for the time, but if I remember, it's just like a 45-minute print. All right, guys. That's what that is. I'm not going to fight with the camera anymore. So thank you for watching. We got a Benchy printing. I'll post you know what I'll do? I'll post a photo in my community tab showing you guys a close-up of this Benchy just so you can see. Just so you guys can see. I mean, I guess I can leave the camera off for a few minutes. If you guys just want to stick around and let this play in the background, you know what? Seems like some of you just want to watch this print. I'll leave the camera off for like 15 minutes, or not even, for like 5-10 minutes right now. That should cool it down enough to let it turn on again. Your video has guided me to do it to Wi-Fi as my first process. Is such a good content. Yeah, thank you for the compliment. Danonator. Sausage. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, okay, so yeah, sausage. I think that some people want to stick around, so I'm just going to let the camera cool down. It's got that fan blowing on it. I think I should turn the, I can turn the speed of the fan up, blow more wind. I guess that's something I should do. I'm still here. It's still streaming. So I think that's going to cool down pretty quickly. I mean, just the fan has made a difference. Before, the camera wouldn't turn on for a good half an hour, 40 minutes. So the fact that it's kind of turning off and on again is promising. Audio queue and A session. Not sure what that means, sausage. Yeah, I think that's the next step. Maybe I don't care about this camera too much. I do like it. It's really functional for this live streaming if it didn't turn off. It's easy to manipulate while I'm live to zoom in and out, that kind of a thing, and to move it around. So maybe I'll hack into the body and figure out whatever components are overheating and stick a heatsink to them. Dana Nader, yes, I have. There's a video I made about the Sidewinder. No, it's not worth it. The cabling is failing on me, so it's getting like weird thermal runaway protection errors. Those cables are awesome because they're kind of like a cable chain, but the connections, they're not soldered. They're kind of stuck in these like clips, you know, like you're used to seeing for ribbon cables. So it was an awesome printer. There's so much going for it. I just, I disagree with the what is it? The E3D Volcano hot end being on that printer. It doesn't belong on that printer. And also the ribbon cabling. It's got its pluses and minuses. They didn't work it out, but I absolutely love the belt, the GT2 belt that goes between the two lead screws. That's a great technique on that printer. It's just the, you know, the rest of it. So no, you'd be better off getting the Mingda D4 Pro or something like that even. Sausage, the Duet board, the Duet 3s that are coming out have a plug and play functionality with Octoprint. So I'm looking forward to those. Octoprint is always going to have the what is it? The camera functionality. I forget what they call that. Octopi? No, Octo something or other. Anyway, the oh, there it goes again. Darn it. The so yeah, the ability to use that camera, they're not going to build that into Duet. So Duets will work with Octoprint. I think they're going to have better functionality going forward. But you know, we saw what Duet does. So the things that Duet can't do that Octoprint can are going to be integrated into it with the Duet 3s. But currently it's kind of like you use one or the other. You wouldn't use Octoprint with Duet. Not really. I've not really seen Octolapse. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Dana, if you bought a Sidewinder though, the problems that I'm having with it, the hot end and the cabling, even if you upgraded it to a Duet, you're still going to have those same problems. I don't know where you live, Dana Nader, but if you want to buy my my Sidewinder off me, it's all yours. I just don't want to ship it. I don't ship printers, so I'm just trying to get rid of some printers because I got too many. I know the camera died again. I'm letting it cool down. No, the Duet 3 will work with Octoprint. It's got a special plug to get some more base, like root level connection between the Raspberry Pi and the Duet 3. I'm not, you go read on the Duet website for all the details. I'll cover it when I actually do the project. I try not to, I know it's coming. It's something that I'm going to have to research before I make a video for you guys, but it's not something I've researched already. So the info is out there though, as far as connecting Duet 3 to Octoprint. So you can go read on their website what that's all about. Does the Duet have a Cura plugin? It doesn't need a Cura plugin. The way that they've got the functionality working, you just upload G-code files. So you straight up just put whatever your slicer, it's slicer agnostic, whatever slicer you use, you just upload those G-code files. Yeah, so I don't see a way to wirelessly connect a Duet board and maintain the duet functionality. You'd basically just using the Kira interface through USB, which you could do. You could connect it to your computer through USB if that's what you want to do. High-speed link to the Pi. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, Rick, actually I have plans for that. I'm trying to keep one printer in each category that does a unique job. And yeah, again, it's one of those things that I'm like 3/4 of the way done with the project or more. And the project went on hold and I moved on to other things and I really want to get back to it. But basically I'm printing on the big printer at like 300 millimeters a second with a 1.2 millimeter nozzle. So just blowing out humongous prints so quickly. But there's problems. There's a whole new problem set that arrives when you try to print that fast and that big. Gel pack. Yeah, I stuck it in the freezer before, Hammer of Doom, and the camera, I stuck it in the freezer in the last stream, and it worked, but it only worked for a few seconds. So, I don't know, I'm not holding my breath. I thought for sure this fan thing would solve it, although how many hours are we into this? I think this is the longest stream that I've done, so. Let's try the camera again. Give you guys little snippets every 5 minutes of this print. Print's going pretty quick, actually. Honestly, it might be the batteries, you guys. I don't know why. It requires a battery, even though it's got USB power. So, it's the weirdest thing. I mean, this is kind of janky. Hold on, I'll be right back, you guys. It'll be back for a minute. Here it comes. Come on. Live stream's got a, well, that's a delay, huh? Come on, live stream. You can catch up. It's there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So you can see the printer's coming along fine. Let's see. I don't know how to fix your camera. Yeah, get a new one. It's a Sony RX100. I just like the point and shoot nature and the autofocus. It works really well for, it's just easy to use in the live stream. I need a whole better setup. It's coming. I promise you guys, it's just going to take a little while. Yeah, Sausage, I streamed from my phone before and I had similar issues. I don't know why. I did my first stream, but I've gotten a new phone since then. So maybe the new phone would work better, but yeah. No, the battery's not overheating, Hammer. I think it's the whole camera. I just replaced the batteries back and forth and the new battery didn't last long. I'm gonna try charging. The batteries do need charging. Yeah, this print looks gorgeous. I can see the layer lines a little bit better than you guys. It looks as perfect as anything. Yeah, the picture's great when it's working. I'm gonna hack into this case so that the internals are exposed. I don't need to ever. It's always going to be a tripod camera. It's funny. It's a point and shoot, but it's never going to go in my pocket again. So I don't know if you guys watch. God, I'm such a fanboy for his DIY perks, but he hacked into the same problem, overheating problem, with a $6,000 Canon camera, just a gorgeous camera, and he hacked into it and solved the thermal runaway problems. Awesome video. So I'm like, I can do similar to my crappy little camera. No, Rick, because my phone was plugged into the wall. It was my older phone anyway. I've got the new Google 5 phone, whatever it is, the Pixel 6 or I don't know, whatever it is. So I think that we could try it with the new phone. The problem is with the phone, I can't do any of the screen sharing and all of that you guys saw me do in this video. Michael, for some reason the camera, even though it's plugged in and it's got the little like charging icon, it doesn't work without a battery in it. So even though it's being powered over the USB cable connected to it, it doesn't work without a battery. It's weird. I don't know. I'll try to find that link. Or did you just send it? For some reason, I'm not seeing it if you sent it. There you guys go. There's the DIY perks one. Oh, somebody else just linked it too. No, I'm in Vancouver, Washington. I don't think you want it, Daninator. I didn't even print that much with it, and the cables started failing on me. I mean, it's got new cables, so I replaced the cables so that it's working fine now, but like it only came with one replacement set of cables. I would stay away from that printer because of the cables. And there's not like you can modify it. The cables are what you're stuck with, so yeah. And the camera's off again. Well, you guys saw it printing. I don't know what's going on here. It's like a quarter of the way through the print. And it's paint drying anyway, even if I guess I can just leave this stream up if you guys want to come back to, yeah, and I'm losing viewers, so I'm going to end it. I am going to end it. Check out the community tab. I'll post a picture of this Benchy here tonight. So you can see how it turned out. But yeah, it's time to end this. Too many people signing off and the camera's quitting, so. Yep, and it's dinner time. My wife just knocked on the door, so. Thank you guys for watching. For real this time, we're going to sign off and check the community tab for that picture. And I know, John, no. There's a delay, so I'm going to wait for you guys to all say goodbye or give your laments that I'm ending the stream. I mean, the only other option for 27 of you is that I leave the stream going without the camera while the camera cools down for 20 minutes. So it doesn't make any sense. Let's just look for the photo on the All right, guys. Click on the button. Thanks for watching, Everybody have a great night and a Merry Christmas. See you next time.